Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is your boy, the only original American Dankster. We are back with the banger, and I got to tell you, Baron Coleman did some incredible work last night. Welcome back. Happy granddad Morfar to Mr. Coleman. It's a privilege to know him, and it's a privilege to watch him just absolutely bring out the truth and be a fighter for the truth, just like your boy Danks over here. And many of you, all of you, hopefully watching, want to know the truth about the Charlie Kirk assassination. And the Fed slop narrative is getting quite tiresome, if I could say, in my humble opinion. And look, we are at the point now where that stuff doesn't make any sense. Okay, whatever they've told us about Tyler Robinson, from start to finish, from day one, 33 hours, turning him in, parents getting involved, police, this and that, all this BS that the feds, the FBI, just everything. We're going to be covering a lot of things. I want to do my opening here. So we all know on September 10th, 2025, Charlie Kirk was assassinated, removed from the map, removed from the board, the chessboard, the piece. The king was taken out. And for a specific reason, which we are unveiling over time. By Sunday, September 14th, 4 days later, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the FBI, and the governor of the state of Utah, Spencer Cox, jointly, now to the words of the Paver, the emergency Paver situation that we're going to be covering quite extensively today. According to him, Spencer Cox, from the governor of Utah, as the governor of Utah, and the FBI jointly together wanted to have this pavement put down, a paver put down, okay? And obviously excavation, okay? Now, the contractor's name, Dan Merrill, they asked him to drive to that scene on his day off and pave it over and to be done by Monday, okay? That the contractor, and you're going to see today, and if you haven't seen Baron's, I encourage you to go watch, but we're going to play multiple Baron clips. I highly encourage you to watch the whole show and also watch the interview that we're going to be showing as well with Rex. Great show. Glad to see that people are speaking out, even though they have gotten a lot of smack talk, a lot of terrible things. I, like Baron, also do not want any of my audience reaching out and trying to, unless you're doing journalism, really. Like, I never reach out to anybody unless I'm doing journalism. And I think that, or trying to do something on the behalf of good, but sending violent messages, doing things that could ruin someone's business when you have no idea really what's going on, you wouldn't want that done to you, right? And we should always act on, do we want this done to us? And obviously we don't, right? We don't want someone attacking us because of a narrative that doesn't make sense, and then we're caught in the middle because we wanted to help. Now, I put a poll up in the chat. Go ahead and vote. The poll's questions are, and if you haven't seen the Paver interview, we're going to watch some of it today, but like I said, you can watch it after. I'd encourage you to. Do you think the paver that paved over the crime scene at UVU is knowingly involved in the Fed slop? I want to know all of your opinions. Don't vote if you haven't seen or at least watched what Baron's shown, what Jesse on Fire has shown. We're going to show some of his reaction today. But it's either yes, no, or I'm not sure. Okay. So the contractor is on the record, on camera, saying the words that the FBI and the governor said it had to be done by Monday. We're not talking to the media. They said that they are not speaking to anybody in media. Excuse me. And this is above our pay grade. Whoever was contracting this guy to do the work, talking to him specifically, above our pay grade. Okay. So now we know that the FBI was involved in excavating and paving over the crime scene, if what he's saying is true. That's a quote from the man who did the work himself. And while the operation is unfolding, while 10 inches of dirt was being excavated and hauled away from the spot where Charlie Kirk allegedly died, while bullet fragments and blood and trajectory evidence was disappearing in the back of some truck somewhere. The man's widow, Erika Kirk, the brand new CEO and chairman of Turning Point USA, was sitting through interviews throughout, speeches and memorials, and in eight months on camera, after her husband's been murdered, she has cried what seems to be, at least in my opinion, one authentic cry. And I think it's very ironic that this one authentic cry happens to be over giving money away. I find it quite interesting. Ironic at the very least. Ironic, but definitely interesting. Not at the funeral, not at the memorial, not when she talked about Charlie not saying goodbye in the morning before he left to Utah, not when she talked to him about not wearing his wedding ring or whatever that is, not when she talked countless times on TV, Fox News, wherever. We haven't seen an authentic tear. But the one time we do, which we're going to show Baron, shout out to Baron, he got this clip, and I can't wait to show you. I want to know what you all think as well. But she cried one time on this stage, and we'll show you the 60 seconds or so and what she breaks on, really. And what is she actually grieving here? You know, that we're going to talk about that. So welcome to Dankster Intel. I am Danks. Happy to be back behind the desk in the office, 3 days off. Some of you noticed, and I appreciated every one of you who sent an email or a DM commenting and asking where I was, but I am back. Just needed some time to slow down a little bit, so it's good to clear the head. But tonight is the first, tonight, wherever you are, is the first stream of the next chapter, and where we're going to be going somewhere like the mainstream media will not want to go, you know, where Baron's been going, where Candace has been going. And I think we're finally seeing a development in this investigation that is starting to go beyond just questioning the Fed slop narrative, now beyond that, to the point of like, it's just complete BS now. Like, we are at that point. I feel like I am at that point where there are too many things now to say, like, we need an investigation on the investigators. That's where I'm at. All right. Put something in the chat. Put investigate, or put a investigator emoji if we need to investigate the investigators, because to me, that's where we are at. Okay. That's where we are at. And let me say this clearly so nobody is confused about my framing. I've never bought the official story. Not once, not for a single second. Okay. Not for a single second. Some of you know. All right. Not for a second have I bought this garbage. From the moment Tyler Robinson, his name showed up on a federal screen and the FBI started force feeding these Discord narratives, and we've been on the record completely just dismantling everything along the way. While Fox was running Patsy packages, we were running primary documentation alongside the greats here that I'm privileged to know. Okay. While the Heritage Foundation was vetting government employees and appointees and TPUSA involved in White House, whatever, we're over here pulling FARA documents, attaching lawsuits to foreign agent registrations, and Candace Owens being sued by someone whose family is Ben Shapiro. I mean, we're actually doing real work. You know what I mean? And for anybody to tell you the Fed slop story is real and there's no other, it's just world-renowned evidence, I would be very, very careful of who this is, unless it's just someone that doesn't follow this story closely. Okay. But we have never bought the official story, ever. From the moment they said that the screwdriver on the roof and then the gun together, it was off to a rocky start, to say the least, to be nice about it. So when I talk today about receipts, or ever, I mean it. We are not here to discover anything new about the establishment, except for the fact that, well, maybe we are actually. We're here identifying that the establishment might not be working for us the way that they should be. And remember, don't forget, they work for us. Okay. I think we've forgotten way too many times that we don't work for the government, they work for us. All right. We have always been in we haven't always been in that position, especially as of late, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse towards the direction of tyranny, which we've already talked about tyranny on this channel. And what is tyrannical of this government so far, which I never really thought it, those words would come out of my mouth. But this starts to feel when we add up all of these things. Again, while Fox News is helping running patsy packaging, okay, mainstream media is running patsy packaging. You must understand. So, part one of today's show, we're going to be going through, where you'll see, we're going to go through Erika Kirk. We're going to go through different parts of this show. All right. Erika Kirk crying over money, the Paver, a lot of different clips. I got a bunch of clips we're going to be talking through today. And we go inside the Paver cover up. All right. We're going to be playing tight cuts from Jimmy Rex's interview with contractor Dan Merrill, layered with Baron Coleman's complete breakdown. Jesse on fire on the records, reading out, talking about his personal opinion as well, which I think is interesting to listen to. And then we're also going to walk through Baron Coleman's 6 red flags on the Kirk marriage in this year before the assassination, where also Candace Owens drops legal preservation letters this week on Victor Marx's kind of interview. We're going to play first the text Victor Marx sent to Erika Kirk after Charlie was shot. You're going to hear what he said, and you're going to have to sit with that because that's very interesting. Lots of interesting uncoverings over the last week, I would say, with Turning Point USA. And a quick word about the show, because I think it matters. Dankster Intel is independent media. We do not take money from Heritage Foundation. We do not take money from Salem Media. We do not take money from Turning Point USA. We don't take money from anybody, especially the Anti-Defamation League, the ADL, FARA agents. All right. We do not run pre-rolled ads that are packaged, ready to go. We build our own advertising. All right. So I'd appreciate if you go to clubvatcher.com. You can join the tip jar and throw a tip in there. Built for creators, by creators. Your boy Danks putting together something that helps fund the fight for creators that don't want to be bought out by mainstream media. So let's see here where we're going to jump right into. Oh, by the way, super chats and memberships I will read at the end of the show. I think it's just better that way. I get to engage more without feeling pressured to move to the next part of the show. So just please know that I'm not skipping super chats. I will be reading them at the end of the show. We'll probably go about an hour and a half, 2 hours before we get to that. So just be mindful, and I appreciate every single person. This Saturday, I'll be making up for missing this previous Saturday's members only live stream at 10 a.m. Pacific. And also, They Think You're Stupid podcast with Bays at Real Bays on YouTube. We do a show every Saturday evening at 7 p.m. Pacific. We will be continuing with that as well. So members only lives for 99 cents here on YouTube, Saturday morning at 10. And join us for free on Saturday evenings with Bays and myself for They Think You're Stupid podcast. So we are not buying the Fed slop garbage anymore. Let me see if I can, let's go ahead and show the true emotions. So I'm running with no headphones, all right? So what that means is basically my earbuds are not in. So if you get feedback, meaning if you hear the audio kind of seeping through from the speaker to my mic, let me know in the chat so I can put my headphones on, but I'm trying to roll without it. All right. So we've got Baron here, Mr. OG Baron Coleman. Shout out to the big guy. Let's go ahead and play this. So she broke, it looks like, in this clip. I like how he's got this is like a stiff finger right here. He's like, I'm telling you something right here, ladies and gentlemen. Put a fire emoji in the chat if you're ready. We're going to get right into it. Let's jump into this clip here. Let me make sure I don't get too loud. Here we go.
We finally find a video where she shows real emotion. And it is, well, I'll let you be the judge of what the emotion's about.
I like
If you have trouble hearing it, I'll tell you what it says.
My husband, as tradition, would donate his entire paycheck back into the organization. I am following suit. It is my honor and deepest pleasure to pledge my entire paycheck back into this.
Damn, girl. She literally dropped a tear on the word paycheck. Pledge my entire paycheck. Woo wee. And they're cheering for that. I like it.
Back into this organization.
Wow.
To pledge my entire paycheck.
I wish we had a close-up of that. I wish I did.
This organization.
I mean, you can kind of hear it in the voice. Maybe I shouldn't have said that she had real tears. Could be practicing that.
We found her emotion. We found her emotion. Her emotion is when she has to donate her entire paycheck back to the organization. That's when she cries. I'm telling you, we just figured it out. Now, she'll laugh 5 days after he passes away. She'll laugh about emojis. She'll brag about hat sales. She'll use the first opportunity that she speaks publicly on his death, all in white, standing beside his chair, up talking. She was up talking there, by the way. It's my great privilege.
Oh God, Baron I can't wait. He reminds me of that. It's like, oh my gosh, he's so right, but I can't stand when he does it. It's like, because he's right. She does it that way. Okay, so one last time for the cause.
I am following suit. It is my
following suit.
honor and deepest pleasure to pledge my entire paycheck back into
Oh
this
my goodness. Pledge my entire paycheck. She broke on entire paycheck, bro. For real. That's just $2.5 million over 5 years. That's what really gets Erika Kirk. You know, however much, I have no idea. Whatever the money is. Because at the end of the day, unless they are actually embezzling funds into the nonprofit and then truly they are money laundering in a way that they're getting profits out of it. So perhaps her paycheck, I don't know how much. I mean, what is her paycheck from when she started? Was she working before? I don't know. But this is what got her emotional, right? This is the first authenticity that we've seen from Erika Kirk, in my opinion, from the grieving widow on the record after her husband was publicly assassinated. The grief was over, to me, what it looks like, was actually over the financial costs. And, you know, there could be some conflicting feelings here, right? To give her the benefit of the doubt, she might be like, gosh, Charlie actually put all of his income in from the beginning all the way until he met me. And maybe she is feeling a certain type of way, like, I'm going to do it too. And maybe she felt some connection there. I don't know. But, you know, it's just a little bit, it just feels strange to me. Why this? You know, maybe she's just been working on the voice. I don't see tears. It's too grainy for me. But hit that like button, drop a comment right now. Tell me where you are watching from. The algorithm hates this kind of content. And your comment is the single highest weighted signal, along with any type of joining, sharing, super chats, memberships, all that stuff. So make sure you're doing that. If you are new here, welcome. Subscribe and hit that bell. Notifications on all, so you make sure you do get the actual notifications. Okay, so let's set the table. Again, Charlie was shot Wednesday, September 10th, 2025 at the Utah Valley University. And the shot has been said to come from the top of the Losi Center across the courtyard. Okay. The angle does not work. Chris Martinson did the math. Baron did the math. I've done some of the math. I'm not that smart, but I've looked through the math. The bullet does not travel from the alleged shooter's position to Charlie Kirk's neck at the angle that the FBI is selling us. It's off by multiple degrees. Some have said 12 degrees. Some have said more or less. At a minimum, 12 degrees. But forget the angle for a minute and let's get into what really happened afterwards, because the crime scene at one of the most public, controversial political assassinations in over 5 decades was excavated, 10 inches of dirt completely removed, sod ripped up, and then paved over with brand new pavers from Lowe's. Actually, all by Monday, September 15th, 5 days. Compare that to Trump at Butler. They hosed the scene. They moved chairs. The crime scene was paved over on the 4th day there too, by the way. Compare that to JFK, which Baron got into. The road in Dealey Plaza was kept open after the shooting, and the Secret Service wiped the limo down 30 minutes after the assassination, shipped it to D.C. within hours, like 3 hours, and rebuilt it in 3 weeks. No forensic exam. Compare that to MLK. The bushes behind the boarding house where James Earl Ray supposedly fired were cut down within hours. Crime scene destroyed. Seems to be a narrative. Compare that to RFK, the hotel pantry pulled apart. This is a pattern, you guys. This is a pattern of public political assassinations, crime scenes being destroyed within the same few days. Story locked, loaded, Patsy named, move along, nothing to see here. Eat it, eat it, eat it. Outpost, good for you, bad for dogs. That's what they're telling us, right? This is a political pattern. Anybody who tells you that the pattern is a coincidence is not a serious person. We do not have to convince anybody of this today in 2026. The receipts are stacked with multiple assassinations in history that go deep. And now we're going to meet the man who did some of the work in Utah. His name is Dan Merrill. We're not going to meet him. You're going to see who this person is. Dan Merrill. He owns Hardscape, Utah. He went on the Jimmy Rex show, which we're going to show here, and told his entire story. So I'm going to open up the clip and watch him tell his story, his side of the story here. So let's share. Let's share this screen here at the stage. Okay, here we go. Oh, let me remove this banner. All right, cool. Let's get into it.
Good to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks, brother.
Let's just kind of cover this Charlie Kirk stuff first.
Okay.
And then I want to kind of get into more of your story and some other stuff like that. One of the reasons I wanted to have you on the podcast, I mean, it's just fascinating. That was probably one of the 3 or 4 most impactful moments of our lives as far as, you know.
I will say, if you haven't seen it, he gets the call on a Sunday, and a Sunday in Utah, it's not this guy, it's the other dude you'll see in a second. But this is the most Mormon state in America. Okay, this is a state where nothing moves on a Sunday. Nothing. Restaurants are closed. Stores are closed. The whole state, I think, takes a Sabbath, basically. I think some people are drinking they like this caffeine like soda. They might be getting soda, but they don't drink coffee. So anyways, he gets the call on Sunday, and really, he even told them they're not going to be doing the work. We don't work on a Sunday. He even tries to get his team assembled. They're not answering. So he has to put together, as he says it, a ragtag team. And it seems as if a ragtag team was already in motion at the UVU campus prior to them showing up. So a state employed maintenance supervisor in American Fork and a groundskeeper in Provo are calling a random small time. Doesn't sound like they even really knew who this guy was. It didn't seem like, hey, I found you through a friend. This is my homie, Dan. He does great work. I think you'd like him. I know it's an emergency. Maybe he can help. I don't hear any of that. All I hear is he gets a random phone call. The feds want him to pave over. Okay. And really using the words we have a Paver emergency. Baron flagged that, rightly points out, rightly so, has never been uttered in that order before in history. I think it's very interesting. Kind of gave me a laugh. So let's go into it.
National event goes, and you got thrust right into the middle of it.
Yeah.
So what exactly was your role? What happened? How did that all come about for you to be the person they called? I mean, I think, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on, you haven't really told your story, but you've been getting a lot of like death threats and people that think you're part of the conspiracy. And I just wanted to kind of really get into how
just notice the framing right away. Part of the conspiracy. So this tells me homeboy right here doesn't believe the narrative just from this jump. And I watched this, I think like the first day or two it came out. So this is going to be fresh for me again. So I might be pointing out things along the way that I've noticed. But right now, just saying this, I'll back it up, seems to me like he doesn't buy it. And then you'll see what the Paver feels like throughout this as well.
And people that think you're part of the conspiracy. And I just wanted to kind of really get into how that all happened for you.
Sure. Well, so interestingly enough, I came and met with you about your Zen garden. That was right when it happened. I was on my way back to my shop in Provo, and I saw 6 different precincts flying past me in the commuter lane. And I got to, my shop is right. It's probably 2 miles away from UVU. I grew up right there. We walked to where I went to grade school, it's Vineyard, which is now UVU. And I saw all the cops coming past, and I got off on University Parkway, and everything was shut down. And I thought, what the hell, right? Got on the phone, asked Google, and Charlie Kirk, had been shot. I think Orem's a small town. This is where I grew up. I remember when it was UVU, UVCC, UVSC, right? It's grown. And so anyways, I think a lot of people around the world are looking at it, but when it happens in your own community, it's raw.
Yeah, and it happened 5 minutes from my old house that I moved from 6 months ago.
Right. And it was.
So this dude is a local in Utah. All right. He grew up there. Actually, he said that Utah Valley University, I believe, used to be his school. Okay. So this is a local, and it kind of makes sense that you would have a local do this, because it would be kind of strange to just bring out some outside party, massive company. I mean, maybe not, you know what I mean? But feels like dude wants to speak out, right? And yeah, it's interesting to see where he goes with this. I'm going to fast forward to, let me go to like this point right here.
Right now you can see where the pavers are, everything under that.
Okay, so this is where
a couple of dudes when they called us. I got my trailer.
So this is where he starts talking about what actually happened. So they hit him up, and he wants to be helpful and useful. So let's go ahead and play it from here.
It's raw.
Yeah, and it happened 5 minutes from my old house that I moved from 6.
Right. I was pretty ashamed of our state, that it happened in Utah of all places, right? So anyways, that we've been watching him online forever, right? I think his conservative values. So fast forward, I think that was probably maybe a Wednesday.
Yeah,
or a Tuesday.
September 10th. I remember that.
Okay,
yeah,
is it
I think it was a Tuesday.
Tuesday. My wife at that point was pregnant and very hormonal. She had been watching his videos for years, and so anyways, there was just that cloud. There was a cloud in my home. There was a cloud in the valley. I think everybody could feel it. It was palpable.
So you can see the dude seems like a real cat, right? He seems real. It doesn't seem like he seems real to me. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of important. When I'm looking at people and I'm watching them discuss the narrative and what happened with them in a situation, I think it's important that we all realize, like, hey, again, Baron did such a great job. I'm going to reference him a lot today from his show from last night. We forget sometimes that we are all human, and this becomes a story for all of us. And sometimes most times, we forget that these people are real, you know what I mean? And that they're just doing life. And some shit happens, you know what I mean? Things pop up. So far, it seems like things just popped up for homie. And he got involved in this situation. And he's going to explain really what happened. I think it's important to see how he ended up doing this.
fast forward, I'm at home with my family, and I get a call, and I don't answer my phones on Sunday. They left a message, and the gentleman said, "Hey, this is kind of weird," and he was kind of hemming and hawing on the phone.
This was 5 days later then? You said it was on this Sunday? Okay.
Yeah, on Sunday. And he says, "We've got a paver emergency."
Paver emergency.
The hell
When the hell's a
what the
paver
hell
emergency?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Paver emergency. What the hell is a paver emergency? Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to find out.
Right? I'm thinking this guy's what the hell? So anyways, I wasn't going to even respond because I don't typically do that, but I'm like, paver emergency. Part of my MO is I like to be useful, where I can be help, So I texted the guy. I said, "Look, I don't work."
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Was that not on a Sunday? Didn't they just say they don't work? Hold on a second. If he says he doesn't work on a Sunday, was he coming from the garden that day? Where did he say that? Am I tripping? That was on Sunday that he said that, correct? Here, right here.
That was right when it happened. I was on my way back to my shop in Provo, and I saw 6 different precincts.
Hold on a second.
Get into how that all happened for you.
Sure. Well, so interestingly enough, I came and met with you about your Zen garden. That was right when it happened. I was on my way back.
Oh, okay. That was on Wednesday. Okay. Sorry. All right. That was on Wednesday.
To my shop in Provo, and I saw 6 different precincts flying past me in the commuter.
I was going to be like, oh my goodness. What have we stumbled on? Okay. I think we're good.
Line.
Yeah,
and I,
that's the day that, okay, we're good. Here we go.
my family, and I get a call, and I don't answer my phones on Sunday. They left a message, and the gentleman said, "Hey,
Yeah, I
this is
took that into consideration for sure. I get it.
weird," and he was kind of hemming and hawing on the phone.
This was 5 days later then? You said it was on this Sunday? Okay.
Yeah, on Sunday. And he says, "We've got a paver emergency." Like,
And they are incorrect about the day. I don't know how they got it mixed up. They kept saying Tuesday was the day it happened, unless they're trying to do some type of what is it called? The when the theory, when we see things differently, the Mandela effect. Hopefully we're not trying to get a Mandela effect going on over here and it all happened on Tuesday. Next thing you know, we look at the newspapers, everything's Tuesday. But they make a mistake. It's Wednesday.
the hell
When
is
the hell's a
what the
paver
hell?
emergency?
Exactly,
Yeah,
right?
right.
I'm thinking this guy's what the hell? So anyways, I wasn't going to even respond because I don't typically do that, but I'm like, paver
Mom, Donnie.
emergency. Part of my MO is I like to be useful, where I can be help, So I texted the guy. I said, "Look, I don't work on Sundays. My guys don't work on Sundays. I'm happy to call you on Monday. What's a paver emergency?" So he sends me pictures of right where Charlie was murdered. And he says, "We need to put pavers in this place." So I called him, and the guy seemed like a genuine good dude. He says, "Look, we don't have a whole lot of answers. We're told by, people above us that we've got to put pavers in, today and tomorrow. It needs to be in by Monday. And we've never done pavers. We've never installed them. And we want to make sure we do it right." And he says, "Would you come help?" I said, 100%. So I went and got my shit. I got my trailer. I started calling my guys, and none of my guys answered. And
So right away, we're seeing now people above whoever's being contracted to do another subcontracting job are literally calling for this work to be done. And this is an emergency, obviously, on a Sunday. While they're ripping open already, have done the excavation. Baron again pointed out, they've got the excavation done already. So this isn't about the paving over, which a lot of us are like, they're paving over the crime scene, but a lot, even including me, forgot that what do you got to do in order to get paving in, to pave over, or to put in whatever type of grounding or flooring or cement, well, you got to pull the stuff out of the ground. So what goes into that? Well, you've got tons of people involved. You've got trucks involved. You've got dirt being lifted up out of places, out of the crime scene. The actual crime scene is being excavated. Imagine that. Imagine the crime scene. Like, just imagine in general, someone, say your husband or your wife gets tragically, unfortunately killed. And within days, before anything is certain, like right away, they're already ripping up the ground and taking everything and removing it. The whole area. The camera is being removed with the SD card. People are just standing around after a shot was fired within minutes. None of it is going to add up. Wouldn't you be like, WTF, what the hell is going on here? Why are they uncovering? Why are they covering up this? What are they doing? It's just insane. It is actually insane.
So I started calling my other guys, my brothers. And then I called another, so I put together this ragtag team, of guys that we showed up on that Sunday, within an hour and a half of when they called us with our trailer. And we met with a couple of dudes. I was telling you there wasn't a whole lot of information. There was two guys that were kind of in charge.
So by this point, it's all dug up and everything.
It's everything.
What did it look like?
It was, I've got pictures, I could give you pictures of exactly when I showed up. I took pictures of what it looked like. They had taken out about 10 inches of the dirt around.
Now, there are clips of the actual pavement. Let's see. Baron shows. I might move over to Baron's coverage of this, where he shows. Let me see if I can find it real quick. That's okay. We'll keep going.
Down the whole.
But yeah, if you look at the actual crime scene and the digging up of, it's a lot of dirt. I mean, you're talking about a lot of dirt being picked up, and it's not a little bit. So obviously they dug deep into the dirt to grab everything that they possibly could in order to cover up whatever they're trying to cover up. So when we look at that and we think, well, why would they want to do that? What is there, like, an assassination happened, instead of cleaning it, maybe because it's dirt and grass or whatever. What, I guess you can't dig up the dirt or whatever to get the blood out. So you got to just completely pave over it. This is where it's kind of unique for me, where it's like, I think, why would they be doing that other than they don't want to risk something that was in the dirt or mud or grass rather. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm kind of at. I'm going to play this clip. Baron kind of nails it here. I want to play this from him here. Let's share this tab. Here we go.
Out of the way, please. They get all the sod rolled up. They get it all out of the way. And they don't even know who's going to do the paving. They don't know who's going to put the pavers down. So what was the purpose of the project?
I mean, he nails it. He nails it. The scandal is not, well, I'll play it out. But the scandal is not paved over. It's actually that it was dug up in the first place.
Was it pavers or was it dirt removal? Because if you listen to the official story, it's, well, we just wanted to create a memorial place. We wanted to get rid of we didn't want people coming up. There's biohazard material. Who knows when it's going to rain? Leave it to the Lord to clean it all off. Ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't about the pavers. It was about the dirt removal.
This is one of the biggest findings or piecings together of this puzzle as of recent, I think, in my opinion. The scandal is the fact that, from this perspective, is that the crime scene was dug up in the first place. Okay. This is a major issue. And they didn't even have a paver planned, is what it sounds like. So Why was it an emergency, a paver emergency situation in general? Because the original mission was the excavation. The pavers were just cover for the cover at the end of it. They have to finally do their cover-up job, in my opinion, which is to pave over. Pave over the cover-up. You see what I'm saying?
I would suggest it's about removing evidence from the scene of the crime. It's about destroying the crime scene. That's what it was about. It wasn't a beautification project. But you can't go to the public and have school open back up on Monday and just have 10 inches of dirt excavated from where the tent was. People are going to look at that and say, what are you guys hiding? What's really going on here? Are you telling me you guys excavated the crime scene and you're just going to leave a dirt hole for who knows how long? No. You can't go to people and say that. That's the definition of a paver emergency. That's why it's a
boom. Very, very astute, very clean and clear observation. Not only that, I believe Baron shows, if I can pull it up here, I have the receipts of what was purchased. Baron showed from Project Constitution. I think these are the receipts, a series of text messages. Let me see. Does he show the receipts? No, he does. Here we go. Paver receipts. Let's go right here.
Through this. Now, what about the pavers? Do we have more evidence that these pavers were put down in a massive hurry? Well, yeah, we do. As a matter of fact, we do, because one of the FOIA requests, or they call it in Utah a GRAMA request, G-R-A-M-A. I'm not sure exactly what that stands for. I'm assuming the R stands for record, government record, something. One of the requests was for the receipts for all this work. Now we know how much it cost to do the install and the cleanup. It was over $30,000, $36,000 they spent at the drop of a hat in order to excavate the crime scene, to make sure the crime scene was completely destroyed so no independent investigation could ever be done.
And I'm going to go into a little bit about something here that Baron didn't go into, but I'm going to give a little bit of theory on what's going on with the receipts and the split payments.
No defense team investigation could ever be done at this crime scene. But notice where the pavers came from. Pavers from Lowe's. They went to Lowe's and got the pavers. Nothing wrong with Lowe's. It's a fine store. I go to Lowe's regularly. We have a Lowe's and a Home Depot here in town. I use them both.
And as you can see, this is UVU Pavement PDF. So this looks like it's the official, from the official disclosure FOIA.
Depends on what side of town I'm on. If I need to stop at Lowe's, if I need to stop at a home improvement store and I'm on that side of town, I stop at Lowe's. If I'm on that side of town, I stop at Home Depot. I have no problem in the world with Lowe's. It's just weird to me that I don't know. I don't know where I thought these things would come from.
Yeah, I mean, I can, from my own personal experience, like, I mean, that's me. I worked in HVAC, heating and air conditioning. Did some electrical work, and we are pretty much always going to, a lot of times when it comes to construction work, we are at, because I've done that as well, Lowe's, Home Depot. But when it comes to other jobs like HVAC that I've done and electrician work, there are actually specific stores that are made just for that. So, but I'm pretty sure Lowe's and Home Depot are the primary places for this type of work, construction. There might be more, like, when it comes to like toppings of tables, when you got granite involved, or flooring, perhaps there are actually different locations. I know that when I went to go get granite for our house, there was a specific place when we renovated the kitchen and the bathroom tabletops. We actually went to a place that manufactures and creates the slabs, but Lowe's and Home Depot did have those as well. And we were actually back and forth between, do we go to this place or do we use Lowe's or Home Depot, because some things are cheaper. So I don't see it as too much of I don't see it as too wild to have Lowe's be a place to get the actual stuff in order to do the work.
I guess I thought there was like a place professional pavers got their pavers from. But here is the receipt on September 15th at 4:11 p.m. for the return of the pavers. These are the returns of the excess pavers here on the afternoon of the 15th. So September 10th was Wednesday, 11th was Thursday, 12th was Friday, 13th Saturday, 14th Sunday, the 15th. So this is the afternoon of Monday, the 15th is when they return it. And this is the actual purchase the day before, the afternoon of the 14th at 4:30 p.m. That's Sunday afternoon at 4:30 p.m. And I find it interesting that he put it on 6 different Visa cards, but that's
Okay. This is where I kind of want to talk about the payment, right? Let me see if I can get a bigger view for you. So the receipts on screen, we're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all within about $1,000. And there was one that was over 1,000. I can maybe full screen it. There was one that's over 1,000. I don't know if you can see my mouse. I don't think you can, but 1, 2, 3, 4 down. It's 1182. See how it's $6,182. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then the last was the leftover, right? So what I think is happening here is that you've got 6 separate Visa cards, obviously. Why though? Why a split? Why split a single, like a same day paver purchase across 6 Visa cards? I can give you my best guess. Because state agencies have purchasing limits on their cards. Most state cards will cap at a certain transaction. Okay, typically you might see 2,500, maybe 1,000, 5,000. A bulk pallet of pavers, gravel, polymeric sand, and labor markup on an emergency Sunday job will blow past that. So they split it across 6 cards, probably 6 different state employee, what they call P cards. And because the transaction is structured is kind of fragmented like this, it doesn't flag an audit within maybe the system. This is what I could guesstimate. So it looks like a routine maintenance spend distributed across multiple line items, and each credit card or each card in general might go to a different auditing system, I guess, right? That's kind of where I think might be what it is. And that even leads further into the potential of a government cover up, a state run operation, perhaps. Okay. That is not how an emergency paver situation should work, right? That is how a planned operation works that needs accounting cover. That's what it seems to me. Let me know in the chat if this makes sense. This is what I came up with, looking into some of the ways that these things, I mean, $1,000 seems very low, but maybe they aren't construction cards to get high valued amounts, right? Maybe they're not, their structured spending is for something less. This is actually the same technique used to keep federal suspicious activity reports from being triggered. So state employees know exactly how to split a purchase above to avoid scrutiny. And this happens a lot in business as well. They'll split, like I used to work in restaurants, and if you want to charge off your dinner as a business meeting, well, you don't want to have alcohol on there. So they'll split the alcohol off and they'll charge just the food and just these dishes to make it look like, oh, we didn't order a bunch of champagne and caviar and all this stuff. So this is a known practice, is to separate and split costs to avoid scrutiny, specifically from an auditing agency. State employees, again, they know how to split this stuff up to avoid that scrutiny. Now, Baron mentioned the 6 cards in passing, but I think that it would be important to subpoena these P card statements. Every state employee at UVU, every state employee with the Division of Facilities and Construction Management, every state employee in the governor's office who has a card, who has used a card at Lowe's, between September 13th and September 16th or whatever the dates may be. The receipts exist. I mean, it's 9/14, right? That's what it says here. They're just sitting in a database somewhere. Someone needs to pull them. I don't want to blow past these receipts because these actually, whose cards are these? Do you see what I'm saying? So this is actually hypercritical. Whose cards are these? Okay. So I'm going to move to a different part here. Baron caught something interesting. That is important. Whose cards are these? Okay. It could be nothing. It really could be nothing. So Baron, he did catch this as well. I want you to watch it. There is a hard edit, and I want to know what you think of it. It's nothing crazy. If not, maybe it is something. Sometimes editors on a podcast will edit it. It's worth showing at least.
Done that day, the next day, and then
So we worked until night, and basically until dark, and then we came back the next morning and started.
Hold on. Was there a cut there that I didn't see before? Let me. I'm not watching this. Just
and you might want to understand when you go to edit a video, you can edit it after it's live. So either it could have been done and he might not have noticed because it wasn't even edited out. You see what I'm saying? It might not have been edited out in the first place. You want to keep that in mind because you can edit a video afterwards. I mean, I could possibly show you if you want to see what that looks like. I don't mind showing. Say I wanted to go in and put an edit on, was it a live stream? If it's a live stream, maybe not. Under podcast. So if it's a podcast, you might be able to. I can show you what it would look like on the live stream on the back end, right? So if we go to mine and say I want to edit, here, I'll share this. This is my one of my last live streams. So say I want to edit a live stream, I can come in here and I can literally click anywhere and then I could trim and cut. You see that? I could trim and cut this. And I could cut out any part of the show that I want. So it's worth saying, not for nothing, that perhaps there was something in there that could have been edited. I don't know if a podcast specifically could be edited out. Maybe it could. Maybe it couldn't. But I know in live streams for sure you can. Okay? That's worth flagging as well.
to rewatch it, but did I catch a cut that I didn't see before? Hang on, let me watch that again.
How do I got all the girls on the stretchers, and then so it's kind of my MO is under pressure, I know how to just show up and help as best I can. So that's
so you guys got it done that day, the next day, and then
so we worked until night, and basically until
there was a cut there. I wonder what they cut out.
But it's like Trigger Smart said, and shout out to Trigger. If you don't know him, go follow him on YouTube. Great channel, a good guy as well. So cuts are normal, but if it was after the show was out, that might be something different. But I don't know if we'll ever actually be able to find the true information of what is actually going on with that in the cut. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I thought I'd just say, hey, like if this was cut after he saw it and he didn't notice before, maybe it was not cut before. Now, I will say there is one, this is the one I think there isn't enough conversation about, and it is credible. The Paver contractor, the guy who is just minding his own business, he's also a hunter, and he cannot help himself, right? He, in quote, I've hunted a 30-06 from that close of range, does not do what that bullet did. So he is very clear about how he feels regarding the shot itself, right? And so it does speak volumes to him being possibly inside or not this Fed slop story. It doesn't seem that he's buying that. And it's important to notate, right? It's important to know, like, hey, a lot of people are giving him a lot of flack, when in reality, dude is just doing his job. And that goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. Sometimes we need to just realize that people are people, and that's really it. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is a psyop as well on top of a psyop. It's hard to tell these days. But seems like dude is kind of on our side. Not when I say our side, not that we're sided, just that we're not buying the slop.
But they started pulling it up, I think,
Yes.
like the next day or 2 days
I don't
later.
know
You
what
weren't
that,
part of that.
Yeah, I wasn't part of that.
That actually probably, that makes more sense because like I thought you were part of like the pulling it up and
No.
everything else as
No,
well.
so after we put the pavers in, you know, we were working as a team, but I was going past some of the grounds guys and I said, you know, I just hollered at him, said hi.
And happy Memorial Day. I didn't even say it. I'm so locked in. Happy Memorial Day, everyone from Trigger Smart. Happy Memorial Day. My apologies for missing that. Happy Memorial Day. God bless everybody on Memorial Day.
He wanted to tell me about, you know, he was the one who pulled it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did he have to say? Do you remember his name?
I don't. No, I don't think I got
Sorry.
his name, but he was part of the grounds crew for UVU. And
This one, I don't know if I buy it, bro. I don't know if I'm buying that he doesn't know the guy's name.
What did he have to say?
you know, he was the one who pulled it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did he have to say? Do you remember his name?
Do you believe it in the chat when he, let me know in the chat. Do you believe him?
I don't. No, I don't think.
Do you buy that? Do you think he doesn't know the guy's name?
Do you remember his name?
I don't. No, I don't think I got his name, but
Where did he talk to this guy from?
I was going past some of the grounds guys and I said, you know, I just hollered at him, said hi. And he wanted to tell me about, you know, he was the one who pulled it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't think that he doesn't, you really, like, let's think about this. The guy that did the work, basically the contractor that did the work before you got there, the work that you're working alongside, you're basically working together. You want me to believe that you didn't catch this dude's name? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I don't know about that. I don't know. I personally think that I would remember.
He have.
You know, he was the one who pulled it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did he have to say? Do you remember his name?
I don't. No, I don't think I got his name, but he was part of the grounds crew for UVU. And he was pretty ticked. He was like, dude, I don't know why the hell they're bringing you guys in here or what.
He's a part of the groundskeeper at UVU. He's the one that pulled it up. He knows all of these things. But you don't remember his name? I'm calling balls and strikes. I'm not here to play favoritism. I'm just saying what I see. That's not a name you forget. The work that you're doing work alongside or with or covering over their work. Had a conversation. You know what he does. You know his position.
Why they're bringing the state in here. You know, they made us tear everything out. The blood and the nastiness, you know, he was responsible for the cleanup. And he was a little bitter. You know, he's like, I don't know why they're bringing other state guys, other state employees to.
Yeah, as I listen to it, like he's saying, Trigger Smart, is there slop in here? I mean, we're finding a little bit of slop. No? I don't know. Interesting.
To finish out this crime scene.
No, it makes sense. So, and then you had, I mean, you've had people, because look, you know, I've been following it semi closely. I was for a while, right? Now it's pretty clear to me they set this kid up, and
yeah, that's what it looks like.
Now there could be that he doesn't want to say the guy's name. Okay, he doesn't want to air him out like he got a bunch of shit himself. You know, you can give the benefit of the doubt there. But you don't have to, like, I'm not saying he's lying, but you don't have to lie. You could just say, I'd rather not name him because I got a bunch of shit myself and I would hate to see that happen to him. Okay. That guy, though, I will say, is a critical component to this cover up. It's critical. The guy he is not willing to name, he named Spencer Cox. He named the feds. He named various other people. But he's not willing to name the groundskeeper that actually pulled the dirt out of the ground that he is covering up, that he is paving over, shall I say that way? I don't know. That is interesting to me.
The Lavalier Mic, I would bet my life on that.
Yeah.
And we all know that Charlie had turned on Israel, and that's probably why they killed him. I mean, that's their MO.
And just one point.
Very interesting. There's a hard cut here. But that's not the interesting part. The interesting part is what this guy just said, Rex. The guy literally said, let me listen to it.
On Israel, and that's probably why Lavalier Mic, I would bet my life on that. And we all get up and for a while, right? Now it's pretty clear to me they set this kid up, and
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
it looks like it was the Lavalier Mic. I would bet my life on that.
Yeah.
And we all know that Charlie had turned on Israel, and that's
Wow. I don't think I caught that the first time. I think it was a lava mic. What is he saying? Does he mean lapel mic?
No, it makes sense. So, and then you've had people, because look, I've been following it semi closely. I was for a while, right? Now it's pretty clear to me.
It's pretty clear to me.
They set this kid up, and
They set this kid up.
What it looks like.
it looks like it was the
And then he said, that's what it looks like. Dan even said, yes, that's what it looks like.
clear to me. They set this kid up, and
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
it
Interesting.
looks like it was the Lavalier Mic. I would bet my life on that.
Yeah.
And we all know that Charlie had turned on Israel.
What's a lava mic? Hot mic? Volcano mic?
That's probably why they killed him. I
And they
mean,
turned on Boston. That's probably why they killed him. This is a lot to take in, actually. I want to believe, but it is strange to me that he doesn't mention the person, but also I could see why he didn't mention the groundskeeper. But dude, he's a groundskeeper that, but again, maybe the groundskeeper was being told not to say anything, not to talk to anybody, and he was also just being told what to do. So I can get that. You know what I mean? Oh, Lavalier Mic? Yeah, okay. Okay. So thank you.
that's their MO.
And just one point. When we were sitting there,
Very interesting, because I know after that there was more conversation. Do you see how they jumped straight from that to
Bet
something
my
else?
life on that. And we all know that Charlie had turned on Israel, and that's probably why they killed him. I mean,
Right here. And then they cut to him saying something. Let's see what he says.
that's their MO.
and just one point. When we were sitting there, somebody had been killed there, bro.
Sure.
It was heavy, dude. It
Was it
was
still heavy?
It was heavy, dude. It wasn't like I didn't want to fucking be there.
Hmm.
I didn't want to be there, but I was trying to be useful. As you look up and you see where they're saying this shot's coming from, it's in plain fucking view. You can see like, but dude, I've hunted. A 30-06 from that close a range does not do what that bullet did, right?
There we go. How many times do we have to hear this? How many times, you guys? They're really running. They're gunning for this narrative. This is the narrative they're running with. We've got a dude, Tyler Robinson, in jail right now for this prosecution.
You look at the videos, you see his shirt do some crazy shit. You see his team catch him before he hits the fucking ground. But yet they can't see a guy right in front of them setting up. Like it didn't make
Bro, thank you. I mean, if we imagine that location, right? I mean, there's a map here. I think Baron pulls up. He shows a couple here. Let's go over here real quick.
Other pics. Here's some more pics that took place during the construction. This is from Getty Images. I will pull these up and give you an idea of just how destroyed this crime scene truly was.
Oh yeah, that's how deep the actual construction was. Dan says about 10 inches. I could see 10 inches there. Didn't I have a video clip or an image of the actual? Yeah, right here. Let me see.
I want to not just a lot of it is people.
Did I not have it?
Let
Let me see. Yeah, right here. So the Losi
I want
Center,
to go through a little bit, and there were people there.
the Losi Center, this is where Charlie is at. I don't know if you can see my mouse. This is where Charlie's supposed to be at, right? The Losi Center is literally like right here in plain sight, right? Actually, let's go to Google Earth and let's get a clean look at this. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull this up. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's get a clean look at this here. So Losi Center. Okay. You guys that know me know I don't use maps very often. Where are we at? Okay, here we go. So this is right here. I mean, this is wild, you guys. So Losi Center is what? Right back here, right? Oh, no. It's saying Utah Valley University, but I think this is the Losi Center right here. Not to confuse anybody here with adding nauseum. Right back here, right? If I'm not mistaken. So if this shot is taken right here, I mean, this is the Losi Center right here. Yeah. And this is where Charlie was supposed to be at, right in here. Can you see my mouse? It's kind of, see right here. It's okay. So follow me right here. Is Charlie's supposed to be at. And then this is the scene right here. I mean, how crazy is this? Right here. Even if you were on top over here and you were to get in close, I mean, you'd have to be like right here, no? Right over here somewhere? I don't know, man. This doesn't look like invisible shot. I don't know exactly where it is on this area, but what is it? We've got, okay, I see the text. Thank you in Discord. We'll get to that. Okay. So as we get further in, we're going to see the construction points on what was actually dug up. So let's take a look here. We do have, oh, someone wanted me to show this from Muppet Master. So this was actually what Baron showed right here. So I'll just read it. From Muppet Master, shout out to Muppet. I have permission to publish a few unseen photos from Daniel Merrill, Hardscapes, Utah. In my honest opinion, I believe Daniel Merrill was just used as an unsuspected tradesman, so the powers to be could cover up their political assassination crime scene as soon as possible. I originally thought Daniel was the Fed crime scene cleaner, but now I think I got it wrong. I dug into Daniel's history right back to when he was a real estate agent and found no red flags, no evidence of government collusion, no financial issues that can compromise someone, and no associations that rang alarm bells. The paving job was pushed onto him due to his close proximity to UVU, his landscaping skill set, and his lack of awareness about what just happened at UVU. Of course, he knew Charlie was murdered, but being so early after the incident, no one knew how deep this murderous conspiracy ran, and I believe Daniel Merrill didn't know what he was getting himself into by accepting the job. It was so rushed, he couldn't even get his regular crew together and ended up with his mates helping out, so I blocked out their faces in the picture. It's actually a very typical Mormon response to help out in times of need, but even Daniel thought it was strange to have an emergency paving request on a weekend. He agreed to get it done, basically believing he was doing the right thing. The ground was excavated before he arrived, and the turf rolls were disposed of and not reused like some speculated. And I think even Dan in his interview said that there's parts that they were able to keep, like some part of the grass or sod or whatever. But he does point out that some speculated that maybe it was reused or whatever. I think it's that they had saved it. Like for me, when I do mulch in my lawn, I save a lot of my mulch or whatever that I might have lifted up or not used, or grass. You can always use it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. So when it comes to landscaping, so maybe but it makes sense to me. He also says there is a larger void or tunnel underneath the courtyard that still requires clarification on exactly what it is down there, and I'm working on getting some answers. Daniel Merrill didn't make a large profit from this job, but he did invoice the state and receive payment. His workers were paid $50 an hour for their efforts. I'll attach a video in the comments of all the research I've done into Daniel Merrill, and after speaking with him, I'm reasonably confident his role as the paver guy is nothing more than a job he was contracted to do with no prior knowledge of the Charlie's murder. Daniel was very easy to contact and quick to reply with information I asked for. He seems very much against the official narrative and willing to help where he can. At this point, that's all I know. I'll update this post if more information comes in. So here's the post of the scene. Baron did show this yesterday, but these are the guys, and I think this is Daniel here as well. We could actually probably blow this image up if we want. Yeah, here we go. So this is the scene. It looks like after the pave was done and they're standing on top of it. Funny images here from Muppet Master, but that looks like Dan there. And the work was done. All that's missing from this picture is the actual cover that Charlie was under, and it would be picture perfect probably for TPUSA. Just saying. So yeah, even here, you can see this is a solid 8, 10, 12 inches possibly. So these are guys working up here. Not sure what they're doing there. Let's go back to this here. So this is of the work itself. We'll open this image up better. A little blurry, but you can see this whole area, right? This is the whole courtyard area. They're doing the work here. You can go back. What else we got? This is, I mean, dude, if you look at this, this is a pretty steep. This is steep. This right here is steep. For anyone to say this is, I mean, this looks like a foot at least. Look at how much they dug up, bro. Excuse me. Look at how much they dug up. Look at this. This is a lot. This is a lot, you guys. Wow. That is a lot. Hold on. Sorry. I gotta share the screen again. Yeah, this is a lot. Interesting. Okay. He said he had a video in here. Okay, let's see what this video says.
Guys, Daniel Merrill, Hardscape, Utah. Yeah, I just wanted to, I've kind of been back and forth on whether I want to do a follow-up video to the.
Whoa, it's very low.
Guys,
is the audio okay for you guys? It's very low on my end.
Merrill, Hardscape, Utah.
There's no caption.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I've kind of been back and forth on whether I want to do a follow-up video to the video I shared before about being a part of installing pavers at Utah Valley University where Charlie Kirk was murdered. You know, I've been wondering what there is to learn from this all. And
I think I haven't seen this. I didn't even know this existed. So I'm glad someone sent it. Let's watch this. I put it on 1.25x. So let's get through this and see what he says.
You know, my journaling this morning, a lot of times I can write better than I can speak. And so I'm going to just kind of share it with you and put it out there. One of the reflections I read this morning, it says, I will look for the value in others and find it in myself. Wrote, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Fact. The story we're told does not look truthful or honest. Opinion. Social media's algorithm is designed to keep attention. It is done systematically preying on the reward centers of our brain. Fact. The algorithm is divisive by nature because it shows us more of what keeps our attention, thus reaffirming our cognitive bias. Fact. After uploading a video sharing about the beauty of brothers coming together to honor Charlie on Sunday, away from our families, doing a good job on pavers, a page reshared my video, 500,000 plus views and 400 comments. So much hate and finger pointing at me as a bad actor, trying to tarnish my reputation. Not knowing anything about me, I've wanted to explain myself, to stick up for myself, to be liked. Truth. It is none of my business what anyone thinks of me. An assault on my reputation does nothing to my character. We showed up to be useful.
I just reached out to Muppet Master to see if he could connect me with Dan. Maybe we can get him on the show.
Honored a brother by working elbow to elbow with my brothers. Love is the answer, guys. Truth is, if I walked in these people's shoes, I would probably feel the same way they did. So, guys, that's what I had to say. I appreciate that everybody's hurting, and I'm sorry. This is a sad deal for everyone, and I don't know that we'll ever know the truth. But what I do know is that throwing mud on each other is not the answer. And I hope this is received well, and whether it is or it isn't, God bless you guys. And I hope you find peace and love and God in your life, and God bless, guys.
That's his company, Hardscape Utah. That's the work, it looks like. Okay, I don't want to play music. All right, interesting. And then these are texts, it looks like. Project Constitution. So let's see what he put up here. This is we can't play with audio. So this looks like the grandma request. We have redacted or withheld information. Let's blow this up here. So we'd like to start with the 20 by 60 paver pad in our courtyard. Are you coming down tomorrow? I'm en route now. My guys are getting stuff together for the paver pad. Wow, I'm in a meeting. Do you want one of my staff to meet you? Yes, not sure where yet though. Let's say 8 at the site on the plaza. Okay, should work. Perfect. Thank you. Redacted. We don't want the sod. Okay, and then again, I have 182 feet of fencing arriving in about 90 minutes or so. Is there an on-site contact we should coordinate with, or can we just pull up, unload, and install? Just get her done. Thank you. It looks like from, so this is grandma request from, my team and I acquired these text messages between UVU and the construction crew. Okay, so this is the construction crew, the ones that actually pulled up the ground, it looks like. I can partially confirm what he's saying. The texts prove paving was no pre-planned gig. Shout out to Project Constitution. Kicked off 9/11, one day after Charlie's bullet-riddled end. FBI still had the scene locked tight, yet UVU's already wheeling in contractors. How'd they know the feds would greenlight it that fast? Coincidence or inside track from the shadows? Now, if that's the case, am I missing something? Because we just heard Dan himself say the guy that pulled up the ground was a UVU groundskeeper. Am I correct, chat? I'm right on that, correct? This is showing there was a contractor to do that work, I think, right? How'd they know the feds? Okay, they dispatched a uniformed cop to babysit the crew, keep pesky media at bay. Contractor texts back, maybe that'd be good. My guys are well trained and keeping quiet. Trained for what? Erasing evidence or dodging questions, he says. This ain't construction, it's conspiracy 101. The kicker, some suit texts. I think Redacted is in on it with your media folks. In on what? Oh, snap. Who's the ghost? UVU brass, FBI molds, intel cutouts, names scrubbed, truth buried. But that screams coordination to torch the scene before forensics could dig. Interesting. Okay, so let's keep going through this. Patio is done. Is this UVU's flag? If so, do you want us to secure it and light it? It's a loaner. Baron covered some of this yesterday. It's a loaner for the week. I think we have enough ambient light to be good. Thank you so much. Do you have anyone coming to plaster the ceiling? This is what they were saying about the tunnel, I believe. Redacted is on it. He'll be on site tomorrow morning to assess with. Wait. I think Redacted is on it with your media Okay, so let's look for that. Have my team bringing lights now. Redacted, when will I see something from the architect? Who's the architect? All right, so here it says Sunday, September 14th, 8:24. Redacted, we don't want the sod. You can junk that. Sounds good. We'll get it out of here. Stand by. We do want some over by the event center. Okay, and then this looks like a drawing of where that might want to be at. Stand by. We do have want some over by the event center. Okay, there's a couple small spots east of the ticket booth at the event center that did not take. It will be very obvious if they go take a look. It was too hot when we laid it. This go around will be great timing. The sod will easily lift up and the new pieces can easily be put back in place. Sounds good. We'll get it over there and installed. Thank you. After we do that, are we okay to remove the remaining sod? Yes, we won't trash it. So if UVU needs it in the future, we'll have it. Sod is pretty cheap. So it sounds like they don't want to keep the sod. Gray pavers, red is too much on it. Can you send me a pin where the sod needs to be placed at the event center? Aerial view. Okay. Marked location. Also, can we be shown where the irrigation valve is for that area? We have the main off due to a break. The valve is to the north, up the ramp. Thanks. We heard the media was bothering your team. Shall we send a uniform over? Maybe that would be good. My guys are well trained in. Maybe that would be good. My guys are well trained in keeping quiet. I think redacted is on it with your media folks. Okay, this is one thing we got to be careful of. Project Constitution is saying, I think redacted is in on it with your media folks. That is not what this says. This says, I think redacted is on it with your media folks, which means someone might be helping with media. I don't see, this is what I don't like, is this right here. That's not what this says. In on what? What I don't see in on it with your media folks. I think redacted is on it with your media folks. We don't have to sensationalize the actual information. It's not necessary. The truth is enough. Okay. Can you find more fending for the top of the Kiva? Like, I don't take this as in on it. Am I tripping? Chad. Why would he put that? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, anyways. So they're just going over the fencing, it looks like, and the gaps. Sounds like UU has some we can use. Yeah, okay, so this has been gone through already. Baron actually explains why that might be. Man, he has some great takes, to be honest. I wouldn't mind just pulling up what Baron says here. Let me get back to the show. Back to the show. So far, make sure you stick around because we have some interesting more clips to show and some more topics to talk about regarding this. We're going to see Baron react. Today's more reactionary content, unfolding what else might be there that perhaps we didn't see before or someone else hasn't mentioned. Actually, Jesse, I might bring Jesse up because Jesse has a really great clip that he starts talking about this. And they never would have thought that the Paver would come out and speak, right? And he's right. I bet you they probably didn't think much about it, that they were just going to keep everyone quiet. And two things cannot be true at once. Either the official narrative is correct and Tyler Robinson acted alone, or this paving operation happened intentionally to cover it up. Both cannot be true. It's either one or the other. Fed slop or no Fed slop. If Tyler Robinson is the lone gunman, you do not need a Sunday emergency paver with a two key federal state operation to bury evidence or to excavate the evidence, rather, not bury it, remove it from the ground. You let the local PD finish the crime scene and all the work they need to do there. And then you collect fragments, blood spatter, trajectory cones, and you build your case. Easy, clean, open, shut. Unless the trajectory cones do not point to the Losi center. Unless the blood spatter maybe has a pattern or lack of pattern showing multiple impact vectors or lack of impact. Unless the fragments that they're alleged supposedly there are not 30-06 fragments, because if you were perhaps exploded on, you might have fragments all over the place, like the fragments that might have been in the back of the SUV. Remember the black shattered fragmentation that people have spun around and really haven't gotten a good idea on what they are? Are they microphone exploded pieces? Are they black glass of some sort? I've heard all kinds of different things. Now, what if the black fragments that were in the back of the SUV were also all over that area that they excavated, and there was no way they were going to go through and pick up all that stuff out of the grass? You can't get it all out. And what if, I'm just saying, what if those black fragments had explosive powder on them and gave the whole case? What if one person happened to walk over and say, "What is this? Oh, smells. Whoa, what is it?" Or what if the dogs come and they smell? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if they started digging that fast. But I don't know. Just a thought. Food for thought. Food for thought. Okay. What I'll do is I'll play a little bit of Baron's reactionary to some of this here, and then we're going to jump over to Jesse, and then we're going to go to we might show a little bit of what Candace has as well. So let's jump to here.
Who ordered the destruction of the crime scene? And it's a little shocking, frankly. You would before I play it, let me just go through the options. One option would be like the UVU president. The UVU president might have a good reason to excavate it and say, "Hey guys,"
and don't forget. Remember what I found? I'm sure other people found it too, but I think I was one of the first, if not the first, to talk about 2 GOP representatives or possibly senators, Senators Curtis, Senator Lee, showed up the night before. Okay, remember, the night before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, they tried to get a hold of police and Charlie Kirk twice. Okay, one each time. At 2:30 in the afternoon, someone tried to get a hold of Charlie Kirk about the event the next day through the UVU police communications. And the night before the assassination, 8 hours later at 10:35 p.m., 2 representatives of the Grand Old Party showed up to ask police and talk to them about a plan for the event. So allegedly, 2 senators, Curtis and Lee, showed up to ask police about a plan regarding the Charlie Kirk. What plan? We have to remember there are so many pieces here. Okay. Now we're finding out that the feds and the government, the governor, are in on excavating immediately and keeping quiet about the work. Feds are all around this right now. Okay. That's why we're calling it Fed slop.
I don't need this on my campus. Classes are going to come back in on Monday. People are going to be walking all through this area. They're going to be retrieving their belongings. They're going to come. I mean, it's just natural when something like that happens. You want to come look. I don't need the grass there. I don't need people walking all over it. We can put the fencing around it, but someone might climb over it. And you know, so the University of President, that's a good option. Maybe the Division of Facilities and Construction Management for the state of Utah. I mean, actually, I really like this about Utah. They have a state department that handles all the college campuses, not really all the state property.
And if you have any questions or if you have any thoughts that you want to let everybody know, please put a super chat. I'll be reading them near the end of the show. It definitely helps support the channel as well.
Like that. I like that because you have somebody with ultimate responsibility to beautify and maintain all the state-owned buildings in the system, in the state system. I like that. I like that. So you might think that person would have the authority. Well, that's an option. So university president.
Right now, he's going through who has the authority to actually get this done. All right. Who is actually calling the shots? This is probably the most important thing. And also, whose credit cards are those? This needs to be found out. Hopefully, someone runs with that. I will look into it as well.
Division of Facilities Construction Management. Maybe someone with the state outside of the construction system, someone potentially like the governor, maybe. But let's hear what he has to say, because this was an interesting touch straight from the mouth of a guy who worked on the project.
That was all it was. I'm going to go help these guys. He's asking for help. They want to do it right. He framed it in the sense that, hey, we want this to be done right. So that's why I showed up. So, I mean, to do pavers correctly, you over excavate, you get rid of the top. So
you do.
You do 100%. Okay. You want to get a good base. And these guys had kind of, there was two guys in charge and a ragtag crew. One of the guys was in charge of a state-owned facility in American Fork. And the other guy was in a maintenance groundskeeper on a facility in Provo. And these are the two guys I'm corresponding with. The first guy, the second guy that I hadn't talked to on the phone basically said, hey, look, we're not talking to anybody. We're not saying anything to the media. He says this is above our pay grade. The FBI and the state, the governor and the FBI, that's what they told me. The governor and the FBI said they want this done by Monday.
Why would they want this done by Monday? What is the urgency? Less than 5 days after the assassination, they are covering up the complete entire area of what has happened underneath the ground of Charlie, from the assassination all the way carried out to wherever the grass is at on that property. Why would the FBI and Governor Cox be involved with telling them to hush? Nobody's talking to media. We can't talk about this. This is low-key work. Why? Why is the feds involved at all in lifting up the ground and paving it over? Why? And Governor Cox is part of the feds. What is the federal government covering up underneath the ground that happened, or in the ground? What was in that dirt? What was in that sod? Do you notice in those texts I showed earlier, they really didn't want the sod. They didn't want that, which is the grass and all the dirt underneath that they excavated. They wanted it gone. Why? That sod should be in evidence. Okay? It needs to be in evidence. You're removing the crime scene and putting it into a dumpster field. This is like, does anybody not see how big of a problem this is? I'm sure you all do, but it needs to be reiterated. The ground that Charlie was killed on has been thrown in the trash. Irrecoverable. This is a major, major, major issue. And the fact that the feds were involved in getting that done and getting rid of the evidence is evidence tampering. Okay, you're removing the crime scene and having it destroyed. And you definitely seem like you don't want it. How could you not want it? And where are the feds in this? Why aren't you keeping the sod? My goodness, bro. Absolutely insane. All right, let's jump over to this.
If what this guy said is true, and why would it not be true? Why would this guy make this up? Two things cannot be true at once. And it's both what we've been told about this case and also what he just told us about who ordered them to pave over the crime scene and when they ordered them to do it and have it done by. If that's true, then everything else that we've been told in official narratives is false. And
thank you very much. I mean, hopefully the guy Dan is all good. He let out some information that's really starting to put this on its heels. And it's painting the picture exactly what we thought. Fed slop garbage.
And also, Whose theory does it support if what he's saying is true, which I'm sure that it is? Two things. As there's, I don't know, I think to him, interact with his inner circle, interact. So in the second story,
All right, sorry, I
Flight-
fast forwarded because I thought he was asking.
saying is true, which I'm sure that it is. Two things. I'm going to make some references to an additional topic that I was going to cover in this, having to do with Flight 93. That's not going to be in this video. Even though I'm going to say it, it's not going to be in this video because it's like Building 7, right? Where you're like,
yeah, he's tying in
suspect part of the
this
entire
is actually a great episode. I
up.
encourage you to watch it. Jesse just launched it, and he talks about this as well as some other things. It's a good show.
Very interesting stuff that we're going to look at. But we're going to start right here because this is.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to your boy. Hit the like button. Throw something in the chat. Get involved. Become a member. It's just 99 cents. You can donate on clubvatra.com. Right here, you'll see it scrolling up. Real Dankster or Dankster Intel.
This is huge also. Now, two things. Number one, we launched a Discord group that is for my viewers. I'm interacting in there all the time, doing exclusive videos. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. You can reach that if you click on Club Vatra, the Club Vatra link, which is in the description. And once you choose
I forgot he mentioned that. He's also a Club Vatra user.
Here, you'll be
founder, creator.
You know, you'll get access to the Discord and you can come in and interact with everybody. It's a great time. And then you don't want to be in the 30% that hasn't. All right, let's rock and roll right this second.
They excavated so much dirt. You think that they were trying to make sure they got any bullet fragments or anything that was in there?
I wasn't looking at it with that lens, dude.
Really?
I wasn't.
It didn't.
That right there is critical. Not from Dan's perspective, but in general. We've gotten so far away from the assassination date. We have to remember, like, we didn't have the exploding microphone theory that day. Not that I know of. Maybe we did. I don't. When was it that was it? What's his name? Blake Bednarz. He came out with it. That was like the 24th. No. So this is the 14th that he's going and covering and paving, right? And so I can imagine where he's just not thinking about what's there. Obviously, the shot happened and stuff. That's all they're being told. So I could imagine that he's being truthful here.
Didn't cross your mind?
It didn't cross my mind. Here's the thing. You were saying stuff on social media. Everybody's saying stuff on social media. And quite frankly, I got so disheartened with social media because they just spin everything and they talk shit and fear mongering and hate sells. And I didn't want to see it. I knew there was videos out there. Right when I pulled into town when it happened, I Googled it and I saw the video from afar, right, of Charlie getting shot. And I thought, man, I don't want to see that shit. This guy got shot. You see it, you know he's probably dead or dying, right? I don't want to see somebody murdered, especially a good man, a father and a husband. So I hadn't been on social media. I had stayed away from it. My wife had been on it, and she was a wreck, bro. She was just, all that ugliness was just. So when I got the call, I thought, you better fucking believe it. I'm going to go help. That was all it was. I'm going to go help these guys. He's asking for help. They want to do it right. He framed it in the sense that, hey, we want this to be done right. So that's why I showed up. So, I mean, to do pavers correctly, you over excavate, you get rid of the top. So
you do.
You do 100%. Okay. You want to get a good base. And these guys had kind of, there was two guys in charge and a ragtag crew. One of the guys was in charge of a state-owned facility in American Fork. And the other guy was in the maintenance groundskeeper on a facility in Provo. And these are the two guys I'm corresponding with.
This is also the same guy he didn't want to name earlier. One of them.
The first guy, the second guy that I hadn't talked to on the phone basically said, hey, look, we're not talking to anybody. We're not saying anything to the media. He says this is above our pay grade. The FBI and the state, the governor and the FBI, that's what they told me. The governor and the FBI said they want this done by Monday, and we need to get it.
So here's the thing about that.
Fuck, I love Jesse, bro. Love Jesse. So,
right. The governor and the FBI said we need to get this job done by Monday, which, in case people are unclear on what the job is destroying and paving over the crime scene for the most public political assassination of the last, I don't know, decades, right? Why would the governor and why would the FBI be asking them to do that? And whose theory does that support?
Who's he finds a way to tie back his theory to all of this, but he raises a great point. Who told them to do this and why? Well, obviously the feds. From this guy's mouth, I don't know. Is he just making shit up? Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like it. There might be a little bit of slop in that podcast, but is it that bad? Not really. Now, where I think things get very interesting is if you start tying in, make sure I'm at the right moment. If we start tying in all of these weird things leading up to the assassination, okay? Leading up to the assassination. Is it this one? Oh, it's this one. Let's take a look. So, well, we have red flag 1. I'll just tell you, I don't want to go through the whole clip. Baron shows it. First red flag is in January of 2025. So almost a year, 8 months before he was killed, Charlie and Erika sell their home. It's a $5.25 million Scottsdale mansion. They move into a condo that they already own. And Baron points out that people sell houses for 4 reasons. I think he's just about right here. You've got death, divorce, disease, or moving to a new house. Okay. They did none of those. They downsized massively with small kids. $5+ million mansion to a condo with no death event, no disease event, no new house that we know of. There is only one of the 4 reasons left on the board. Okay. Death, divorce, disease, or moving to a new house. Actually, none of those are there. Well, maybe death. A premeditated death might be. Okay, not a current death, but a premeditated death. But then why would Charlie, I was watching Baron last night. I was like, wow, some of this leads to Jesse's theory could Charlie be alive? Well, I've always said that Charlie's never coming back. So to me, he's dead. But I think it is interesting that they sell the house a year before, downsize. And then we're going to get into what they did after that, or what was supposed to be happening, where red flag number 2 falls in line. Okay. Is that the night before Charlie went to Utah, Erika tells Jesse Waters on Fox, in her own words, Charlie did not sleep. We all know this, or we've been told this, that Charlie did not sleep in his bed. He was not wearing his wedding ring. He was not wearing the necklace she gave him for the anniversary that he had always worn, never taken off. And he did not say goodbye. Okay. She volunteered all of that information on Jesse Waters. Okay.
That's what option A. The other new house, and they sell the house and then they move into the new house. That's what option A. The other 3 are tragic: death, divorce, and disease. So from what we can tell, neither one of them died in January of 2025. So that's not why they sold the house. Neither one of them had a disease that we're aware of. So if those are the 4 reasons people typically sell a house: death, divorce, disease, and moving into a new house, and they didn't move into a new house, they moved into a condo, a substantial downsizing. So that's not why they did it. They didn't do it for death or disease. Let's just keep that in the back of your mind. Why might they have sold the house?
This is right around the time where I was thinking, man, Jesse's theory is looking kind of appetizing. I don't know. It's kind of strange.
Then you have, from the Jesse Waters interview, Erika Kirk explaining that the night before Charlie passed away, he did not sleep in his own bed. That was news at the time. We weren't aware of that. She shared that voluntarily, and I'm not sure why she did. It made her look terrible. But she said he didn't sleep in his own bed, but there was another little fact that she dropped in that interview. It was that he was not wearing his wedding ring or his necklace. Now, we were told he never took the necklace off or the wedding ring. In fact, most people who wear a wedding ring don't take it off. I mean, it's just on all the time. I don't wear one because I work out a lot. I hang on pull-up bars and rigs. And then I have that weird image I can't get out of my head of Erika Kirk doing that interview she did with Glenn Beck.
Oh, is this the
It was
one?
a blaze.
The one that she didn't have the marriage picture up? That's a little wild too. There's a lot of weird inconsistencies here, you guys.
The interview. I'm going to show you the scene. I'm not going to play it, but I'm going to show you the scene. You remember this interview she did where she kind of got weird eyes? It was the first time we ever saw her weird eyes. When we noticed
right up here, right?
I think Allie Top Files was the first one to notice his wedding
Oh,
picture.
yeah. Allie Top Files. Shout out to Allie. Homie. I think she's been in the chat earlier, but
Had been removed from over her right shoulder. Audience left, stage right. It's where that scroll or whatever that is up there has taken the place. But in that interview, if you recall, she's looking around the desk and she said, well, Charlie just made notes. He was constantly writing. He made notes all the time. And then she picks up a note and she said, for example, here's a note he left. And it was in his own handwriting. She kind of showed the screen and you could see it was in his handwriting. And in it, he gave two lists. It was like priorities or important things and not important things. And the important things he said were kids first.
He points that this is a really well put together thought.
Kids and family, legacy, he said. And the things that were not important, materialism, careerism, and loneliness. Those are things that he did not like. Things he did like were his kids.
So where he's getting to is if Charlie is talking about, well, I'll let it play a little
family.
bit.
Kids first. At the risk of getting too theological here, Charlie seemed to understand the Christian theology pretty well. And I don't know how other religions handle this because I'm not of another religion. But if you look at other religions, or if you look at Christianity, this is great. Daisy actually found an image of this, so I don't have to play it. The Blaze is really bad about making you take stuff down. See that? Family, children, legacy, kids number one. Careerism, consumerism, loneliness.
So where he's getting at with this is that kids are number one. Now, in Christian theology, biblical text, the wife is number one. And he goes into explaining why that is, because at the end of it, the wife has to be, the relationship between husband and wife has to be solid. It can't just all be about the kids. And he goes on to mention when it's all about the kids and then the kids go out and grow up and move on, the relationship ends up not being that great due to you're not putting the wife first. And I tend to agree. I think it is worth a thought, right? Let me bring this back here. And so ultimately he's talking, this is going to lead into what Candace broke open last week about the changing of end of death or end of life documentation. And if Charlie was on their way to getting a divorce, then this would be a natural thing to do. You don't want someone that you're divorced to decide what happens with you when you die. That's how I took it.
We get our principal talking about some information she had that she broke for the first time that she'd been sitting on. And put this information in the context of everything we've been talking about.
That I hadn't shared. I actually learned this some time ago, but today feels like a good time to do so. And let me preface this with the fact that this came from Erika. So it is, of course, plausible, always plausible that she lied. But I can confirm that she said it to multiple people. Not to me, but to multiple people. I have evidence of that. In the weeks following Charlie's assassination, she shared with people that Charlie and her were due to sign updated end-of-life documents on September 15th. Let me say that again. Charlie and her had an appointment and a date to sign updated end-of-life documents on September 15th, the Monday after he died.
Hey, Daisy, can you find that countdown post
He
on
gets
Instagram? I just
to-
thought of
he
something
goes
while I
it.
was watching it.
It's interesting.
That weird countdown post where her mom was in it. When I just heard that just now, I wondered if that was the first day of her new life. Like, we're going to sign papers, and it's just going to be my mom and me again after this on September 16th. Like, if Candace was right and they were signing papers on September 15th, September 16th would be the first day of her new life if those papers weren't really in.
Remember this. We saw this post on Instagram. Counting down with her sick mother with 9/16, which happens to be the day after the paperwork was supposed to be complete. Are we piecing together? Let me know in the chat. Are we actually seeing and witnessing, piecing together in real time of this assassination? Are we actually getting to the truth? Do you believe it? Let me know. Do you feel like we are seeing the truth unfold? You know, I was thinking yesterday while Baron was live, what it would be like to be a fly on the room while Baron, Daily Fred, Ocasio, Candace, everybody is unloading this information, Project Constitution, albeit a little exaggerative. He does have some nuggets in there, some golden nuggets. Do you think we are finding the truth? Let me know in the chat. Yeah? Yes, 100. I think so too. What's up against my better judgment? OG up and comer right here. Yes, I believe so too. And this is what the decentralized investigation unit of the internet can do. And I think it's amazing to watch.
Of life documents, they were end of marriage documents. I don't know. I just thought that just now while we were looking at that. Because I remember that being about the same time, September 15th, September 16th. And then Daisy found what she believes is their last public appearance together prior to Charlie being taken out. Now, there may be a more recent appearance, but we've been unable to find one. This was at the Young Women's Leadership Summit at the Gaylord Texan Resort and Convention Center in Grapevine, Texas.
So this is their last known images together. Image or images. There's metadata here, it looks like. RF 70, 200 MMs, 200 millimeter, Canon EOS R5, very common camera. Erika Kirk and Charlie Kirk speaking with attendees at the 2025 Young Women's Leadership Summit at the Gaylord Texan Resort and Convention Center in Grapevine, Texas.
Back in June. This was taken on June 13, 2025. June 13, 2025. I don't know why. It's a weird getup, but whatever. She's dressed in this pink
Bro,
frilly
I don't know. I don't think Baron likes Erika too much. I'm just guessing. I don't know.
thing.
Every chance he gets, from the voice to the outfit. I love the needle. In poker, we call that needling when you're making fun of somebody, just like kind of pointing out little things that could irritate him. He's needling the shit out of Erika. He's been doing it, and rightfully so. It's like the chick thinks she lives in a freaking Barbie land. What is this, bro?
I haven't seen where they were together after that. Not seen in public together. You know, he has a podcast. It's right in their hometown. Is it?
You want somebody asked for the video about the paver? Yeah, I can put that up. Hold on one second. I'll put the link. I'll pin the link. Paver video. Make sure you vote in the chat. Paver interview. Make sure I'll pin it. You feel free to watch it after the show. Don't leave just yet. We've got something that we're going to be showing here soon. But I'll pin it. So if you can go watch the whole thing, it's about 41 minutes.
Is it possible that truly was their last public appearance, that they weren't seen the rest of June, all of July?
And also, I'm still
all of-
reviewing all the things in that paver. So there might be I think there might be some things to make more content on. So feel free to find some things yourself. I think everything should be broken down and scrutinized and looked thoroughly through, because we don't want to miss anything. You know, just how I pointed out the receipts, Baron kind of went past them. I thought it was interesting, so I did more research, and I found it that we need to find out whose cards those are and where the money is coming from. What is my actual thesis here? Not thesis, on my entire channel narrative. Follow the money. Follow the money. Okay. The money is being purchased by somebody. The receipts with the $6,000 split with 1182 on one, that needs to be found out. Probably out of this whole live stream, the most important thing is we need to find out where that $6,000 came from. That's what we need to know. So far, through this whole live stream, it's been my opinion. It is my opinion. That is what we need to do next. We need a grandma request. Let me know in the chat if you think I'm right or wrong. But I think that's probably the most, for me, finding information out next to the actual excavation happening before they even had a paver. That's very pertinent information. Next to that, we need to know who's in the credit cards. Facts over feelings, receipts over narratives. That's what I roll with, bro. Where do I have it? I think I have one right here. I thought I did. But anyways, facts over feelings, receipts over narrative. That's how we roll. That's how we roll, baby.
August and the first 10 days of September.
Follow the money. Money will always lead you somewhere. Don't forget it. That's how I run this channel.
I mean, we're talking parts of 4 different months. Talking July, August, September, almost 3 full months, 90 days where they weren't seen together. And then there's the biggest telltale sign of them all. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, when you start seeing this on social media, people are in trouble. I find social media posters come in 3 varieties. You have people who live a little bit more of a public life and their spouse is a little more private. That's my situation. I've been public now for, I don't know, 10 or 15 years, where I sort of post as a public
This
person.
isn't just boring us watching. There's a purpose to this. There's a purpose to this. It ties a lot of this together.
I don't post a lot of my kids. I don't post a lot of my wife, because I don't want them harassed out if they're out somewhere in public. And I don't know. It's just the way we've always been. So you have those people. Then you have people who post everything together.
And then after this, we're gonna play some Candace, and then we'll go into super chats. But when you start seeing all of this aligned, and when we see the feds involved with the cover up and the excavation and the lying and the deceiving and the bullshit narrative from the beginning, when you see all of this, and then you see what Baron's about to show, and then what I'm going to show you next, what Candace says, all of this ties together to be a very grim picture for Erika Kirk. Doesn't look good from where I'm sitting for her.
Like, you go to their Facebook page and they've got 40 profile pictures, and every single one is a picture of them together, and like every 5th one is a wedding picture because women look great with their wedding. I mean, that's like, for most women, that's the best they've ever looked. So they love putting that one up. And you keep swiping.
Penny said to find this. Daniel Merrill, coordinator, emergency management message, Daniel Merrill, professional profile. Okay, let me look this up while we, let's see what we got. Hold on, let me go find this. You said, what did you say? Penny. Daniel Merrill, he's on payroll for UVU. Payroll of UVU, Utah Valley University. Okay, give me a second while we play this out. Now, it would make sense that he's been paid by UVU to do the contracting work. But if he's done other work for them in the past, that's good. We need to know. Not only during the assassination, pave over, but anything before and or after the shooting. Okay, let me do some research. We'll keep going. Thank you.
On it to looking for a profile picture of them alone, and you can't find one. And every picture on every single post is them together. It's them and their kids, it's them on vacation, it's them, and then like every 5th or 10th post, it's them on their wedding day. That tends to fade with time. After you've been married 20 or 25 years, you don't really go to the wedding photo anymore. But someone who's only been married 4 years, the wedding photo is a very common post.
We all know this. My family and I were very private. So my wife and I don't post much about, that's how we've decided to do it. A lot like how Baron does it. For privacy reasons for my family, my daughter, my wife. So when you have a couple that's always doing photos together, Instagram, Facebook, it's marriage video, photo, all this stuff, then you see a dramatic switch. Well, this is where he's leading, saying, well, why would they switch like that? Why would they not be on video, not be on camera, not be on images together, pictures at all together from the June and end of June all the way till his death? We have nothing to see from.
Women, they love posting the wedding. Well, Charlie was a bit this way. He had his personal posts where he might be giving a speech or something like that, but he had a lot of posts of him and Erika together, him and Erika and the kids, him and Erika here, him and Erika. You know, when you come across somebody like that and all their posts are together, and then all of the sudden,
you guys, we might have a hit. Daniel Merrill, coordinator, emergency management. All right. It's still working, but let's take a look. So I just said, find Daniel Merrill, coordinator working with payroll of UVU, Utah University. Anything at all before, after, during. Project knowledge has him pegged as owns hardscape Utah contractor. The viewers claim that he's also an emergency management coordinator on UVU payroll is the kind of dual role lead that would change the entire frame. Hitting the web. Uncovered institutional employment records and plotted investigative research avenues. So I'm not going to open those just yet. It says hit confirmed. Daniel Merrill is on the UVU president's own org chart as coordinator emergency management under Val Peterson, administration and strategic relations. Same Val Peterson who's been deflecting blame on the alert delay. If you don't remember, it was 88 minutes until they got the first alert. Like a cell phone alert, 88 minutes of when the shooting went down, alerts to the text messages. So this person has been deflecting blame on the late delay of the alert system and rejected safety resource requests for years. They actually had been, I'd done through digging more, and this same person was not using the resources, the finances that you would need in order to operate for these types of events, the safety procedures, and use the money that's allocated through the state to that school. So it says here, locked in official UVU organization chart updated April 1st, 2026. Daniel Merrill, coordinator, emergency management. Now, it could be that he had won this position. So it says Daniel Merrill, coordinator, emergency management, reports up Brendan Jensen, Robin Ebmeyer, and Val Peterson. Same Val Peterson who runs the Peterson sidelining defense on the alert delay, and Jeff Long, the police chief whose grammar requested communications had all the redactions, which is where I found lots of stuff, which I was mentioning earlier about the two people showing up the night before. Critical Fork, the contractor on the podcast is Dan Merrill. Daniel Merrill. Okay, so do we have a misspelling? I doubt it would be two different people. Let's not get too critical here. Could be same person with a spelling discrepancy or two different men. Let me hard verify. Critical distinction emerging. The Jimmy Rex podcast and the contractor's LinkedIn both spell it Merrell. Owns Hardscape Utah. The UVU organization chart. Okay, so where is this chart? Do I need to find this chart? Does he have it on his on his LinkedIn? Oh, this is a different Daniel Merrill. Emergency management specialist. Is that a real photo though? Like, does that look like AI to you? Utah Valley University emergency management. Does it say anything about the actual company? Okay, let's get back to Claude here. Critical distinction emerging. Podcast and contractors LinkedIn both spell it Merrill. 2 different LinkedIn profiles exist for each spelling. Let me verify. Locked. Official UVU emergency management and safety director page confirms Daniel Merrill. Okay. Now hitting government salaries. Dankster on the clock. Here's what I have. Receipt by receipt. Ready for air. Daniel Merrill, UVU emergency management coordinator. Confirmed receipts. UVU official organization chart. Daniel Merrill, coordinator, emergency management, reports to. What do we got? Okay. We might have to see how we can do this. Val Peterson. Where's Daniel Merrill? Am I blind? Here. Daniel Merrill, coordinator, emergency management. Right here. Do you see it? I'll highlight it. So, director of emergency management and safety, specialist environmental health, emergency response, emergency management. Okay. This was on 4/1. Daniel Merrill. This is the show. Does it say his name in here? Okay, let's do this. Let's go back to this. So we verified on this tab that there is a Dan Merrill, but it was updated on April 1st. Utah Valley University, Administration and Strategic Relations. Now, could these be the same people? This is a live investigation, ladies and gentlemen. This is how this works. We've got to look into this now. UVU Live Directory, UVU Professional Page, Active Live Profile, Internal Messaging. What is this? Daniel Merrill, Coordinator, Emergency Management. Is this the same dude, though? Daniel Merrill. Okay, so now we need to figure out UVU Professional Profile Page. I mean, there's hardly anything here. Mail stop 161. Phone is an 801 number. This is on the UVU website, uvu.edu. You can't see it, but it's up here. I'll put the link in the chat. So that is the official link. So let's keep going. Same chain of command as Jeff Long, the police chief whose grandma released emails contained all the redactions. The spelling fork is critical. Do not overstate on air. Contractor on Jimmy Rex show spelled Dan Merrill, Merrell. Owner, Hardscape Utah Provo, and LinkedIn is here. Let's go to this LinkedIn. One second, I messed up. Here we go. Okay, so these are 2 different Dan. I mean, this guy doesn't have his picture, but there's really nothing here except for Hardscape Utah Self-Employed, and it is a different Daniel Merrill spelling. And then we have this one, who is the emergency man. I think this is a red herring. Maybe not. When was this? I don't use this very much, so I wouldn't know if this is a new account or not. Is there a way to find out? Can anybody tell me in the chat or in Discord? What is this? You guys are sending me an article. What is this? You're throwing me off now. Charlie Kirk wife Erika Fransby Merrill? What? What are you talking about, bro? Hold on. Charlie Kirk wife Erika Fransby Merrill. A story of faith, family, and influence. Erika v. Morel is not just the wife of conservative. What is this? Riddler.com? What kind of name is Riddler? Charlie Kirk. I've never seen Morel. So this says, sorry, I know I'm jumping all over the place. Okay, first of all, let's close the door on this. Hold on one second. Yeah, I'm watching the mod chat. I'm watching. Read this title of this article. Yeah, I got you. The chat is reacting slower than what it's showing. Hold on. First, let me get through this. So, and then we'll get to that because this is something is interesting happening here. Merrell is what it says here. And then ILL is the employee. Now, one thing I want to know is, when was this account created? This doesn't look like a real person. It looks like a modeling picture. This is so. Okay, updated over a year ago. Joined in 2019. Updated over. The profile photo was updated over a year ago. So before today, May of 2025. May 25th, 2025. Verified using educational email, May 2024. No post. Posted a TED Talk. Okay, started 2 years ago. So this might just be something, it just might just be something, very, very ironic, but I mean, I wish we had more to go on there. Okay, let's go to this article that was just shown to me here. So this is under the wife tab. Charlie Kirk wife, Erika v. Merrill, Murrell. How does this dude spell his? Merrell. How many fucking Merrills do we have? Okay, we have a Merr. I need to literally write this shit down. This is ridiculous. Hold on, I'll just write it down. I have a pen and pad right here. So we have Merrell seems to be official. Paver, right? That's the Paver guy. Hardscape, Utah. Okay, so this is one. Two is this guy, Daniel Merrill, Merrill, which EMS UVU, Emergency Management Specialist UVU. And then Riddler, Mural. What the fuck? Erika v. Merrill. Murrell. Okay. Can we get a okay, let's do this. So let me show you what I use. I use Claude right here. Tell me what this page is giving. Tell me what this page is saying overall. I don't think you can see it actually. Hold on. It's not showing what it shows here. All right, I'll just tell you what it says. So this page that we're looking at, let me just get rid of this real quick, and then let me paste this in here. Now let's add this story to it. We have 3 different murals. Look to see if this website has any truth. All right. So what it said, I'll just read it to you because it's too small. Sorry, I'm moving slow here. I'm trying to figure this shit out. All right, so in this article, where are we at? What's showing? Okay, the this thing right here. Can we get that? Okay. All right. So this is saying what exactly? It says, this page is a biographical piece about Erika Merrill, the wife of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk. The overall gist states Erika's background identified as an individual, not just a political figure spouse. Key points include her as AZ Miss Arizona, her education. Where does Merrill come from? Okay, so Erika Kirk. This is maybe this might be some slop. I've never seen Merrill being hinted at before. Being in the spotlight comes through. It's the only place online where the name Merrill is used. This rabbit hole goes super deep. She ran for office as Merle in Scottsdale. That's what I'm being told. Hold on. Okay, let me just see. I trust this right here. So Riddler is an SEO content farm, not a source. Look at the receipts on the site itself. Top categories on the site, Riddle generator. Oh, yeah. See, I knew. I should have known from the beginning. This is a troll. All right, I'm going to literally just, this is not, I don't think this can be taken seriously. Riddler, welcome to Riddler.com, a thoughtfully curated platform. Check this out. This is at the footer. A thoughtfully curated platform offering insightful and engaging content across a wide range of topics, from captivating riddles and brain teasers to lifestyle, technology, wellness, and more. We aim to inspire curiosity and thoughtful exploration. Whether you seek knowledge, inspiration, Riddler is your trusted space for meaningful discovery and a creative expression. Why would this site have it? Okay, I don't know. I don't want to get sucked into this rabbit hole. Here's what Riddler.com is garbage. The third mural does not exist. What Riddler.com claims, the site calls her Erika mural. Article date June 22nd, 2025. Author Cielos Anglio. 0 citations, 0 links, pure vibes. Yeah, let's not get down that rabbit hole. Let's get back to, this is why I don't like get thrown off, and I have a planned show, and we have to, I understand the mods are trying to help. I appreciate it. All right, we're going to end up wrapping up with what he has been showing this whole time, what Baron was talking about. Let me find the clip. Where was I at? Yeah, here we go. I think this is it. Yeah.
Daisy found what she believes is their last public.
Facts over feelings, receipts over narratives. That is a narrative. What we just saw, the Riddler dot whatever, that's a narrative trying to be spun for whatever reason. But there's no receipts to back that up. And I've looked at the background checks of these people.
Appearance together prior to Charlie being taken out. Now,
I will say the Dan Merrill being emergency response and then emergency paver, and then they're two different profiles. One doesn't have a picture, one has a modeling picture. That's a little interesting. I'm going to send this to Baron, actually. Different name, but same name. Let me send him the graph. 1 second. And I'm going to highlight it in red so I can send it over to these guys. And maybe they can take a look. Daniel Merrill. Boom. Daniel Merrill. Interesting to say the least. Let me give the actual profile. Boom. Boom. Okay. All right, back to it. Where are we at?
there may be a more recent appearance, but we've been unable to find one. This was at the Young Women's Leadership Summit at the Gaylord Texan Resort and Convention Center in Grapevine, Texas, back in June. This was taken on June 13, 2025.
Okay, so we saw all of
June
this, right?
13, 2025.
So where he gets to at the end is
Show you Charlie Kirk's last two posts on Instagram. Guys, this is the divorced dad post. Like that's, I mean, like, hey, here's me and my daughter.
Let me know in the chat. Do you agree with what Baron's saying here? I agree. But don't be biased. I just want to know, do you also feel that way? It appears to me that this is exactly what he's saying. You got a divorce coming up. Like that's how I would be with my daughter and whatever, you know, I would be. I'm not really posting stuff like that anyways, but I wouldn't be posting me and my wife all happy together. So maybe this is the reason. And then we're going to show what's next.
So that's one. And then you get this one. These were his last two posts on Instagram. Now, notice he tagged Erika in the first one, but not the second one.
I don't want to get down that rabbit hole. Okay, now let's go to this. Add all that together. Everything that Baron said, all the stuff we've seen, all the Fed slop, and then we add this.
And there's something else that I learned that I hadn't shared. I actually learned this some time ago, but today feels like a good time to do so. And let me preface this with the fact that this came from Erika. So it is, of course, plausible, always plausible that she lied. But I can confirm that she said it to multiple people. Not to me, but to multiple people. And I have evidence of that. In the weeks following Charlie's assassination, she shared with people that Charlie and her were due to sign updated end-of-life documents on September 15th. Let me say that again. Charlie and her had an appointment and a date to sign updated end-of-life documents on September 15th, the Monday after he died.
Okay, and then we go back to boing. This one right here. That was the day after the end of life documentation.
That is remarkable timing. That Charlie was just about to update his will, but then he didn't make it to Monday. Like I said, I trust the sources on this one. So how are we to interpret that? Okay, we have two options here. Neither one of them is particularly a positive outcome for Erika, I might add. Option one is that Erika was lying when she shared this information. Okay, perhaps it's totally plausible. She said it out of insecurity, feeling that people might wonder why she was taking over his entire company. Right? But remarkably, despite having the ability to present that in his will, a corporate will, his personal will, to say, I express this is my desire, Charlie hadn't particularly documented that desire, or else we would have been told that. So this would sort of rank similar to her telling Megyn Kelly that Charlie had only...
Okay. At the end of the day, we all end up finding out what? Some documentation that is important in life for Charlie Kirk and Erika were going to be signed, sealed, and delivered on the 15th, which if they were divorce documents and not indeed end-of-life documents, it would mean that the will is being rewritten possibly, or things are going to be changing in Charlie's life legally. So we've got the home sold a year before, 8 months before however many months before the assassination, same year. We've got no images. We've got no ring, no bed the night before. Pictures of the kids only with Charlie. Now, who took the picture? Maybe it was Erika, maybe not. We've got a lot of things leading up to a divorce. Immediately after, she goes on air with Glenn Beck or however long after, and there's no photo of them married together. Okay. We're not stupid. We all have lives. We all live lives. All right. It looks very clear to me, at least from the outside. I can't be for sure. Looks like there was a rocky situation in the relationship. doesn't seem to me to be very much like they were being together much longer. Okay. That if you just add it all up, what else can you see?
A multi-million-dollar mansion, selling the house and moving into a condo. Then you get the Jesse Waters interview. He wasn't wearing his wedding ring. He wasn't sleeping in the room. He didn't tell her goodbye. Then you get the note she found on the desk where he's talking about kids first, consumerism, materialism, careerism. That sounds like he's kind of pushing back on somebody who materialism is sort of her thing. Consumerism is sort of her thing. I mean, just look at
I mean, that's very clear. She's materialistic. I mean, that's my opinion.
Then you go to we're changing the end of life documents on September 15th. Well, that's weird. Why would you change those?
Very weird.
And now you add to that, what we've dawned on me tonight is the weird countdown nobody ever explained and nobody ever talked about, which was Erika Kirk announcing something in 10 days with her mom. Almost like it's gonna be us again. You and me, Mom.
So, look, here's where we are today. We have a Paver contractor on the record saying that the FBI and Governor Cox ordered the destruction of an assassination crime scene on a Sunday in Utah by Monday morning. It needs to be complete. We have a hunter who is the actual paver who installed those pavers, saying that the ballistics himself do not match a 30-06 from that range. We have a bitter UVU groundskeeper saying outside state crews were brought in over local objections to finish what the locals refused to seal, and a variety of other things. We have 6 P cards. They're called P cards from what I can find, splitting a single $6,182 purchase into 6 different cards, all at a single Lowe's transaction, maybe run to keep the spend under audit threshold. We need to know where that money came from and whose cards those are. We have a hard edit. Is it anything? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Probably not, but it could be. We have a widow whose marital, financial, and behavioral patterns in the year before her husband's death point into a very tight, cornered direction. And we have a text from Victor Marx. That's another thing I didn't show, but most of you probably know. I'll play this, I guess, real quick. This is also very strange. A lot of strange things, you guys. Why is it not playing? It's on mute. I can't hear it.
When admission regarding what he texted Erika while she was at the hospital raised even more eyebrows online, because here's what he said.
This is strange.
And then I contacted Erika through a text and told her. I just told her that nobody's
right
gonna
here.
kill you.
I've been wanting to say this. Right here, when he pauses, it's almost like someone is like, no, bro, don't say that. Don't say that. And he says it anyways. That's what it looks like to me. Tell me if you see that.
I contacted Erika through a text and told her.
He gets a notification. He gets nervous. He looks somewhere. She says what? And he spills it.
I just told her that nobody's going to kill you. You're safe.
Bro.
You and the kids.
What
No
kind
one's
of
coming after
admission?
you.
What kind of admission is that, bro? Shady as a mother.
And I contacted Erika through a text and told her. I just told her that
Don't tell him. Don't tell him. I already started. My brain is flustered. Oh, shit. Fuck it. Here it is.
Going to kill you.
Nobody's going to
You're
kill
safe.
you.
You and the kids. No one's coming after you. They just wanted Charlie. And I was just trying to reassure her.
I don't think I've seen anybody actually go into the details of what happened when he said it. The way he said it, who he was looking at. Twice he looked. He really like fiddling with his pockets, whatever is going on here. Let's slow it down. One more time. We'll go to 1. We'll go to 0.9.
The text and told her.
Look at this. he gets notified or something happens, he gets nervous. He might have someone in his ear.
I was
Told her.
He looks twice.
told
He
nobody's
looks again.
gonna kill you. You're safe. You and the kids. No one's coming after you. They just wanted Charlie.
It looks like he's getting something off of his chest to me. That's what it looks like. Like he really needed to say that shit. No?
And I was just trying to reassure because as
It
of
really looks like he's trying to get something off his chest, bro. That's what it looks like to me.
Declared he was
What
dead.
the fuck is he doing telling her this shit anyways? What's his business?
On the basis of people saying it didn't look good.
on the basis of people, myself included.
Okay, I don't want to get into on the basis of whatever. So look, this is all of this is pointing into a very strange direction. How do you know who was going to kill? I mean, bro, this is too much. This is too much. We need to know where those 6 credit cards are getting paid from, and whose names are on them, and if they're state issued cards. All right. Does Victor Mark text or reaching out to Erika, reassuring her just a few hours that they only wanted Charlie is freaking weird. Okay, we have a massive Doge audit that was canceled after he was assassinated, which is what he wanted to do. That's why he repositioned the CFO or COO or whatever, Justin Strife and all this. And then the first authentic tears we see, which we showed at the beginning of the show, or we actually hear, it sounds authentic. I don't see any tears still, are over a paycheck that she has to give out. You cannot have two things be true, you guys. You cannot have, look, either Tyler Robinson is a lone gunman, the FBI is conducting a normal investigation or has conducted and completed it in 33 hours, and Erika Kirk is just a normal grieving widow, or everything that you've watched today and in the last 8 months is real, and the official story is not what they're telling us. It's what Baron has called, and everyone else now, Fed slop. And I'm telling you, it looks a lot more like Fed slop than the official garbage narrative that the fucking FBI and every media, Salem media, bought out foreign agent is trying to sell you. I don't buy this garbage. Okay? If you've got value out of this show today, please hit the like, share, drop a comment, drop a chat. The algorithm does not promote this. It's very hard to get out. So I appreciate all the support. Again, we are independent. We don't take money from outside sources to tell us what to do. We build our own sponsorships through clubvatra.com, CLUBVATRA. Please go check it out for your favorite creators. Coming to you soon. And yeah, we're going to get into some of the super chats. 10 a.m. is our members only Saturday show. So you can just join for $1. It's 30% more on Apple Store. So make sure that you are paying in your browser or not from an Apple device. And then Saturday night for They Think You're Stupid podcast with Real Bays. And then go to my Clips channel at Danks Clips if you want to catch some of the cuts that we do on a regular basis for all of these shows. Lobbying kills, you guys. You know that, right? Lobbying kills. I had an episode on it the other day. I'll put it up here. Murder by Check. It's a really good one. I recommend you check it out. But Dankster Intel, Danks Clips, go check it out. clubvatra.com/DanksterIntel or /DanksterIntel/donate. All right, super chats. Whatever we've got here, we're going to go through them. I appreciate everyone who's joined and stuck around. I hope that you got value out of today's show. I enjoyed it. Went much longer than I intended, mostly because the story is evolving as we go through it. Son of a Queen, $2. Thank you for the $2. Appreciate you, son of a queen. Amy Abati, good to see you. A lot of investigators here. Let me bring this over here. A lot of investigators, blah, blah, blah. I can't see. Hold on. There we go. A lot of investigators are more putting on a soap opera now, it seems. In my opinion, support the truth. Thanks. I appreciate you. There is a lot of soapiness going on, but there's also good work, which is what I drew a lot from today. So it's good to see. You probably know, just like I do, who our high quality output is today. And I hope that we see more up and comers that are following in the footsteps of the rest of us, because we need it. We need more truth. Right now, Americans need more truth than ever before, because we are crushed with propaganda. It is just crushing. So thanks for the super chat, Amy. Good to see you. Pete, what's up, Pete? Just sliding through on a live. Hey, y'all. Bye, y'all. Z's. It's probably sleepy time for you. Thanks for the super chat. Mountain Stars, $5. Dr. Chris Martinson has been my #1 proper scientific methodology truther since 2009. Absolutely. I should be looking more into some of what Martinson does. I'd like to get more familiar. So thank you for reminding me of that. I definitely will be doing that. Thanks for the super chat. Philippe with the $100 SEK. Erika cried like Golem when he lost the ring. I believe CK understood what kind of a monster he had let in his house, says Philippe. She was out looking for some guy involved in politics and found Version McCharlie. Is that a shot at, what is that show? The Super Bad Mick, what is it? Mick something? I forgot. Thanks for the super chat, Philippe. I appreciate you. Amy Abati, $10. I think he knows. I think he's too nervous to say publicly his name. Oh, you meant the contractor. Yeah. I think he knows the contractor's name too. I don't think that he would not just name it to not name it. I think he did it intentionally. I think he knows the name. I could be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. But I also understand if you didn't want to name the name. I totally get it. Thanks for the super chat. Sandy girl in Florida. What's up, Sandy girl? Thanks for the memberships. Member for 2 months, almost OG Dangster. Amy again. Thanks for the support, Amy. I appreciate you. I love that. You're awesome, man. I appreciate that. She came through and dropped a 50 ball on your boy in Cash App, I think. So thank you. Just out of curiosity, has anyone tried to tell all of this info to Tyler Robinson and Lawyers and Family? I'm sure that they have. I'm pretty sure. Or are we all going to end up sitting here when the feds fry him? The more I learn, the sadder I am. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that people have reached out, but they have talked to people, and then there was private recordings that ended up on Candace. It's like, I don't know, how much will they be willing to listen to now? All I could say is, if people would just watch Baron and Candace, that's all you need. Like, the defense could literally just binge watch all this shit and get a lot of answers. I'll be honest with you. Thanks for the super chat, though. I think you're right. I hope that there are information going to the family of Tyler Robinson. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate the support for the $10. That means a lot. Thank you. It's just zero. Super mod in the house, $4.99. If you're wearing a hat, let's take it off and have a moment of silence for our fallen brothers and sisters in the armed forces. Respect. Absolutely respect. Happy Memorial Day. God bless all of the deceased and all the ones still alive today, as Memorial Day does take a little bit of an emotional toll on many in memory of our soldiers. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, Zero. All right, let's keep it moving. Philippe, $50 Einstein donors gave money to TPUSA to traffic guns or chickens. CK was going to force EK and her plumbers out of TPUSA, so they panic. Allegedly, maybe, says Philippe. Einstein's donors gave money to TPUSA to track. Man, that's such a leap. But it's not impossible, right? And that's something we have to stay open to, is that is not impossible. If you look into the finances like I have, and you can go and check my Charlie Kirk investigation playlist, in the very beginning, most of the videos are financially driven. They're all financial audit documentation. You can go and look and see what I found. Looks like some interesting money flow to me. I'll just say that. It's worth watching. Thank you, Philippe.
back again. I mean, we got two bangers in here, basically. Philippe and Philippe and Amy Abbott. What I forget. I'm so bad with names. I want to remember your name now. Amy Abbotty. Philippe and Amy Abbotty holding it down for your boy. I appreciate the supers. EK's ring are bigger than the condo. Yeah, $1 million condo. I wonder, I haven't done them. I'm not that deep into how much your rings cost, but I imagine it could be a lot. Rings over $1 million is a lot to get, but it's not. If I don't know. I have no comment on that. Thank you though. Katie Marie Morgan, $4.99. I bet the Paver had rewards cards at Lowe's. Oh, this is a good point. You're right. They could be just gift cards. Visa gift cards, maybe. I bet the Paver had rewards cards at Lowe's. He would be reimbursed after turning in an invoice. I would grandma for that invoice or FOIA. If it is a Fed. Okay, let me bring this over here. Yeah. Good insight. Thank you. Appreciate that. Good value there. Remember, for 2 months, Kyle Welber, good to see you. Julie, $4.99. Hey, thanks for all you do. We know when we tune in, you're going to bring us the actual and the factual. I like that. The actual and the factual. I vibe with that. Oh, you're going to make me add another line. I got facts over feelings, receipts over narratives, something, da-da-da. Now we've got actual and the factual. I vibe with that, dude. That's fire. Thanks, Julie. Mountain Stars, FTM, follow the money on Titanic iceberg cover up. Ooh, follow the money on iceberg. Yeah, there's a lot to follow on. Oops, I missed Regina. We just had a member. Oh yeah, Regina Carroll. Welcome, Regina. Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific. I keep saying 9 like I want to do it earlier. Thank you again. It looks like I think we're all locked up here. Let's see if there's any other comments. I think we're good. Thank you for joining, and I hope to see you again. Please support independent journalism. That's how it's done. Keeps us going. Keeps the platform moving. Join the Discord. The point of Club Vatra is to join the Discord, communicate with your favorite creator. As I build out the site more and more, we're going to be bringing and inviting other creators. But I build all the Discords. I secure it, monetize it for the creator, whatever they want to charge. I've seen ADN is on there for $3. Bays is on there for $8. Mine starts at $5. But it's a great way to engage with the creator of your choice as we add more and make it more public. Right now, we have Jesse on Fire, me, and a few others. So, and you can donate, right? There's actually a donate button there you can click as well, where we get a lot more than what the Super Chats do, but anything is grateful on my behalf. So thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Love you all. Stacy's got a Super Chat here. What's up, Stacy? $9.99. Absolutely love your honesty and content. I could use your help getting a software program for me. This feels like material that invokes danger. Please stay safe. We need you, Crisis King. Indeed. Thank you, Crisis King. Yeah. Don't forget I had my internet wires cut, which was weird. I don't know why anyone would cut my wires. But join the inner circle. Real Dankster, Dankster Intel. Does Real Dankster still work? I changed it to Dankster Intel. Clubvatra.com/Dankster Intel. This is what it looks like. Oh, yeah. I just did Dankster Intel, but here. Take a look if you want. Let me log out so you can see what it is real quick. I don't share it often, but when I do, this is what it'll look like when you log in, before you log in. Right here. So, yeah, it's just a place to, see your creator that you want. You can go and search for Browse Creators. This is just a test account, but Real Bays, Jesse on Fire is there. You can join Jesse's. You see his starts at $10. It tells you what you get in there, but it's all Discord roles, and then your role ties to when you join. So you would pay if you join Jesse or me or anybody, and then in your user dashboard, a lot of people ask me, like, how does this stuff work? So let me sign in real quick. It's going to show probably admin on mine. I'm a creator, right? So if I were to go to browse creators, or say I have like a membership here, you can see it shows join the Discord. So you'd go to your my subscriptions after you pay or join a free tier. You'd click the creator you joined, and then you would click join Discord. If you are a new member and it's new for you and you've never used Discord, you have to verify your email. So Discord sends you an email when you create an account. You must verify it. If there's an issue, send an email and I'll get you squared away, or the support will help you. So other than that, I appreciate it. Again, you can go to Dankster Intel on clubvatra.com. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much. Love you all. Thanks for tuning in all the way to the end. What do we got? 2 more. SO, shout out to the awesome chat, keeping the convo alive. Today, chat was incredible, by the way. Let me show you this. I usually don't show chat rate, but check this out. We got a dope chat rate here. See my weird mug up here. This is the chat was popping. This is like every minute, right? So pretty cool to see. Shout out indeed. Lowe's doesn't have tax, has to be under nonprofit number. Lowe's doesn't have tax. Oh, that's interesting to look through for sure. Okay. Good to know. All right. All right, cool. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for the love and the final super chats. I'll always read them if I catch them. And it means a lot, man, for real. Like the reason why I talk about this stuff, Club Vatra, you might get tired of it. Club Vatra is how I am like expanding this ecosystem, how I can communicate deeper with you. We did a live call. Other people got to chat and I got to chime in and stuff. And there was like 20 people in there. I left and they still talked, and it's a really cool place. Joining on Club Vatra is really the spot because that's where we all get to engage with each other and chat and talk without being censored or silenced. No one's kicking anybody off that platform. All right. So for the big dogs, I love you. Take care. We'll see you in the next.